Yo, yo, yo.
Hey.
What's going
Welcome. Well, we got guests in our house today. We have the mayor of Homer Glen, Christina, and we have the Republican chair for what county? Chrissy. Also Christina, but we'll just call her Chrissy just so that we don't have too much confusion. Welcome to the podcast.
Yes, welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, no problem. We obviously had you guys on here because we want to get some information out to local residents and the probably local, not only local residents but county residents, because obviously we won the election in terms of the presidential election, so that's good. But and then the same thing for local elections. Republicans won the local elections. But we got to reiterate to everybody that the elections are important, that people need to get out and vote. I think Homer had a very low turnout for voting for this year, if I'm not mistaken, right? Compared to the population of Homer, which is, I think, 24,000 right now.
24,500.
And we only had a turnout, I think, of was it like 7,000 or 8,000, if it was that even?
I
It
have to be
was that much.
It was, it was
5,000.
pretty low.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was like maybe 1/5 of the population of the town. That's not good enough.
It's because it wasn't the presidential election, so
Yeah.
people didn't think it was
People
as
are-
important.
Yeah.
People are
burnt out.
Well, people realize, the way that people look at it is that, if we get the presidency, we're good. No.
No.
We need more than the
Local.
presidency.
You're not even close to good at that point.
Local is what affects your everyday life.
Exactly. And
I truly feel like since he's been elected, things feel worse.
as in terms of.
I don't know. It's just it's a vibe, and I don't. Go ahead. Oh,
No,
Good job. I'm the one usually doing that. Go closer to the mic. Closer to the mic.
Yeah.
But you are right. And I mean, I know what you're talking about. It feels like people got laid back, and they're like, all right, well, we got the presidency, and then we have the House and we have the Senate, and we're good, right?
And let's let things run its course. And
But that is not what it is. At the end of the day, we should be focusing more on local elections as well, making sure that people actually go out and vote, not only for like government elections, but school board elections, right?
School boards are the most important.
Yeah, I mean, that's where it starts. We had a couple people on here for school board elections before the election, and we got some pretty good information, from just them, just listening to what they're saying and what they're talking about and what things look like. A lot of change starts there at the school.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that a lot of people are afraid to speak up about the school boards and be involved in the school board stuff, because during 2020, that's kind of when I came about, and Jay and Tammy, with everything that was going on with the masking and pornography in our schools.
And that's what they were talking about. They were saying that that woke them up kind of to get out of, get uncomfortable and get into it, right?
Yeah. But I heard a lot of people like, why would I vote in a school board? I don't have kids in the school. And it's like, it's majority of your tax bill.
Exactly.
It's majority of your tax bill.
Yeah.
Whether you have kids or not, you should be thinking about it.
Exactly.
At least voting,
Yeah, I mean, we had elections for all the schools, I'm pretty sure, right? High school, elementary school, everything, right? There's how many schools in Homer Glen?
You're talking about grade schools? There's one
grade
high
schools.
school, obviously.
One high school for Lockport Township,
yeah.
right?
Yep,
Technically?
that's where Homer goes.
Yeah. We have 33C in District 92.
That's right. And I think that's like 6 or 7 schools.
Yeah, well, District 92 has one. Obviously, they have all their kids go to one because they're a much smaller district. And they have 92, 91, and then they have 33C. 33C is age group. So you have kindergarten through second, and then you have third through fourth, and so forth. It goes on.
Okay.
Junior high, yeah.
Junior high, yeah. So
I heard that like going to school, like elementary school in Homer Glen, like the parents were like, I heard from a parent, they're like, well, it's kind of the thing that it's like every couple of years your kid has to change schools.
Yeah.
Is that kind of like annoying?
Yes.
So it used to be where, like Goodings Grove, for an example, I moved by Goodings Grove School. So my daughter started off there in first grade, and then she was supposed to end up there till 5th grade and then go to Homer Junior High. But recently they changed it to grades. So first and second would be in one school, and then third and fourth are in another. 5th, 6th, or in another.
it sounds
I
just like
feel like that's frustrating.
It is.
My
turns
kids
like
will
a
never
shit
be
show.
in the same school.
Right. I mean, when we were growing up, it was kindergarten through
6th, 5th.
Well, at one point it was through 8.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when we went to school in Burbank, we were
Yeah.
1 through 8.
You like
or kindergarten through 8.
Paul, I was in 2nd grade and Paul was in 8th grade when we were in the same school.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And then later on it changed and we got a junior high because we never had a junior high.
Yeah.
And then they changed it, so now it's K through 6th and 7, 8, and junior, and then it's high
Yeah.
school.
But it seems like I talked to a couple parents as well, and they're like, the whole like bus routes and the different schools, it's really like a pain in the butt for.
The PTOs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're having a hard time like figuring out like my kid. I have to drop one kid here, and then we'll have to drop one kid here, and then one kid gets picked up at this bus stop, and the other one at this bus stop. I don't know if there's ever going to be a solution to that. Would there ever be a solution to that?
Probably not.
Probably not. I mean, they change it. So,
You're
I
just
mean, they're
gonna-
trying to find solutions
Yeah.
as we go, but unfortunately,
You're
Is
just gonna end up going to the wrong school all the time for parent-teacher conferences.
not gonna
Oh,
lie,
my kid
I've done
doesn't
that.
go. My kid doesn't go to this school. I forgot. But so it has been important for people to understand that school elections are very important to the local community, just like local governments, right? And we just had a local government election for Homer Township, which I'm part of, and then Homer Glen, the village, right? The village that you guys are both part of, right? You're
Yep.
part of Homer Glen Village, yeah, obviously. So, and I mean, the election results were what they were. Everybody had a chance to go out and vote, but just not enough people voted. I think it's just really low turnout. I don't know if people just don't understand what it is, local elections, or they're just being lazy. I don't know.
I don't think they realize the importance of it.
There was voter apathy throughout the nation. Well,
Yeah, in terms of like
I
local.
mean, there was, yeah, I mean, there
Well,
was.
that's the reasoning why.
For this consolidated, it was low turnout everywhere. So,
I mean, looking at the numbers from what I saw, there was 500 less voters from this township race from last.
How does that make any sense though? When it seemed like people were so much more active in this election. At least to me, it seemed like it was more active.
For township race, no. I believe 4 years ago when the township ran, they were a lot more active back then.
I think you just weren't as into it before as you are now, as you were this time
Maybe.
around, and
Maybe.
so you thought that it was like a lot of people were into it, but I think you were just in contact with a lot of people that were
Well,
running or gonna vote.
I also think that demographics have something to do with it. I think a lot of younger people moved into the area, and the younger people, I don't know if they really gave too much precedence to going to vote for local elections. I don't think they really, there's certain people that will go vote, like, myself and whatnot, but other people just either A, didn't have the time, or B, just didn't really care, right? So, I mean, I don't think we're really heading in the wrong direction currently in this area, but I don't know. I'm sure you guys have your own opinions on that.
we're headed in the wrong direction.
You think so?
Yeah.
So tell us why. Why do you think?
Well, I think that what happened with the township and I'm going to start with the Homer Township Republicans and the
Because you're both
PC.
Republicans, right?
We
Yes.
are both Republican, but the PC seats, there was handpicked to remove the current PCs, and the reason for that,
What are PCs?
precinct committeemen. So they are your neighborhood captains for the Republican Party. Democrats have them too.
There's 19 precincts.
Yes.
So each precinct has a captain. So with that, I feel like there was this coup to get Steve Balich out, and this was 4 years in the running, 4 years in the making, I should say. There were people that Steve Balich beat in 21, I believe, was the election.
Yeah, because they're 25
Okay.
now every 4 years.
And those people that he not kicked out, but he unseated from the HTRO have been working with the people that they beat in the township and the village. They all worked together, and there was a coup to get Steve out. There's it's vendettas, and unfortunately, there were good people that were caught in the middle, and now there's this big divide in Homer Glen. Homer Township, Homer Glen, and the start of it was the PCs being removed. There was a PC race. PCs were put in these places, in the spots of people that were actually doing the work, and the reason for it was so there wouldn't be a caucus. So a caucus is Republicans against Republicans. You got two slates like there were, and then you go in and people come in and vote, hand vote.
Okay.
So they knew they could not win a Republican to Republican race. So this was in the plan to do a primary so then Democrats could cross over and vote for them. So they could blow it out of the water. You know it. You need, that's your method to your madness. You need the Democrats to win all these elections. We all know what you're doing and the game you're playing, and you're nonpartisan. That's the game you have to play. I get it. I personally, you don't have to do that because we do live in a very Republican area. So you didn't need to cross over and join forces with the most leftist lunatics in Homer Glen, which you did. And let's call it where it's at. You guys all did, because you guys were all standing out there with Ellen and Sherry and the rest of them. And they are as left as you can get. Like, they're the ones.
I get a chance to respond to all
Yeah,
this,
of course.
right?
Sure.
Okay.
So
Yes.
did you or did you not have a hand in replacing those PCs?
Absolutely not. And this is why I'm glad to be here, because I want to
Okay.
start with a couple of things that you said. You said the first thing was that this was called a coalition to get ballots out, started with the PCs. That is actually untrue.
Okay.
Because you remember when I ran for mayor, I spoke to Balich about, I just want to be mayor. You can have whatever trustees you want in there. I just want to bring our town back together. And I want to make the image of the village back to what it used to be, where it used to be this humble town. Everyone got along. It was a beautiful Republican area, right? He agreed to that, and then all of a sudden, 2 weeks before the election, he throws a mayor against me, right?
I agree.
Okay, right. So-
100%.
Right.
You have that. Your heart was
And
broken
Right.
by somebody that
it wasn't broke. I
Okay,
mean, yeah, it was
but-
hurtful because he was
okay.
my friend and he did that
Right.
to me, and I got that. It's fine. But I'm not going to lay down. I
Okay.
had to go find.
So you
three-
had nothing to do.
Can I
Nope.
just finish?
Well, let
Can
her-
I
let her-
just? I mean, you went on. So let me just touch on some things.
Yeah,
So
let's-
that's where I actually think it began, and so I put my trustees up, and all of us got in, and he didn't appreciate that. I didn't run against him. I actually ran against Rose,
Right.
And then Rose came to me in the office and she said, we gotta stop fighting. We gotta put our swords down and work together. It was great. Then everyone turned against her.
Well,
which
we'll
wasn't
get there.
fair.
We'll
Okay.
get there. We'll
Well,
get there. But did you or did you not run those people?
I did not.
Okay.
So I'm
did
gonna,
you or did you
I'm gonna-
not? I'm asking
Yeah,
facts
I know,
because
and-
I have facts.
But you don't have
I
facts.
do have facts.
No, you have
did you,
assumptions.
No.
And you
did
have
you or did you not
thoughts.
host these meetings at your home?
I hosted 2 at my home.
Okay,
but-
so
but
you
hold
were
on.
involved.
No, hold on a second, Chrissy.
Okay.
When this started, it was 4 gentlemen. I told you. I didn't even meet 4 of those PCs until the day of the election.
That's not true.
Yeah. You're going to tell me who I met, when I met, and
I
how
have
met
I
them?
have emails showing it
Show
was
me the
at
email.
your was
Show
at
me an
your
email,
home
'cause that's not true.
And you're on here. You kept telling me I don't know who the PCs are, and
I didn't
And there
know
are
who they were. No.
there are emails with you on there introducing the new PCs.
No, there's not. Show them to me. Because number one, and you can ask those people that are filling you in with not all the information, because if you read, because you claimed that you read some text messages.
I did.
If you actually read every single text message, you would have a different perspective on this. And I have those. I brought those for you to read with your own eyes tonight. So
I'm
we
glad
can
you guys
put
brought.
that
I'm
to
glad you
bed.
guys brought your
Yeah.
information with you. It's I don't
Receipts.
Yeah.
receipts.
You got to in this
Well,
game,
listen.
right?
I mean, the whole thing here is that I'm sure one side has something against the other side. We're all Republicans here. That's
Yeah,
the
and,
first
my,
thing.
and
Okay.
Christy knows I met with her and Jay
Okay.
Rohde at a restaurant and tried
You
to
did?
say, look, guys, these are the people that are running. I'm giving you information because I don't want this fight. And Christy, you were gracefully, you said, Christina, I agree. I don't want fights. I don't want Republicans spending money when we can be spending it on the county races and all this stuff. And Jay agreed. And then all of a sudden, there was more people that you guys put up to run against these other people. There was no working together. It was, nope, this is the people we wanted. And you made a comment that these PCs didn't do any of the work. They actually did.
They didn't do any of the work
No,
in
no.
the general.
No, they did.
No,
Just-
they did not.
Okay. So I can testify to this,
Okay.
that when you came to, you're talking about when the county member or people ran, right? I mean, we passed around petitions. I passed around 9 myself. I turned them into the people that were running. I went to the Will County Central meetings and handed them to them. Hillary was one of them. I had 2 judges. I did Art as well, Nicole Laha. I mean, I have a list of who I circulated petitions with. They all door knocked. You're the one that brought to the farm all the signs, the campaign material. We waited a few weeks because the shipment came too big to be delivered to your house. We went out, we bought bags, we door knocked, we made a phone bank at my office. We made the farm a location for people to drop off signs, put out signs. I mean, we donated money. We went to fundraisers. We did all these things, but you're claiming they didn't do anything, which they did. And when I talked to you about making Konos corn maze, I had phone lines. I said, we can make it into a phone bank. Just give me some numbers. We'll get people here. We offered to do all that. And
I also asked you, I said, you have a method. You have a method. And I said, you're good at whatever you're doing to help out. I actually brought in, and I'm sick of hearing that I turned on the PCs that got elected because the PCs.
I didn't say that.
Okay, well, the PCs that got elected, I put Bobby, I put Tammy, and I put Beth on my fundraising. Beth, what's her name?
Rogers?
Oh, Rogers?
Beth
Well,
Rogers.
she's on a PC.
Right, no, but I
last
put,
name.
but she's part of that group, and I put all of those people on my fundraising committee. You offered to do something at Konos.
I offered to do anything you wanted.
And as soon as we didn't do the thing at Konos, you guys all ghosted me.
So you
That
guys,
is- that
so
is
you,
not.
so-
Yes, you
Christy,
did.
that is
Yes,
not
you
true.
did.
and at one point or
No,
another, you
that's
guys
not
worked
true.
together.
Yeah, I thought we
tried.
worked great
I
together.
tried.
No,
I
I
have
think-
always tried with you. I have
I did
never.
the same.
But then I have, I have texts from you saying, let me find it.
Well, you're looking for that.
Hang on. May have to take this to another level. I want to take him out so bad. I say you take MC up on her offer. That's to work on my committee, which I offered them to work on my committee because I did want to work with these people. You will get the county support in other towns for what's to come. You
what are you
guys
even
keep your
reading?
poker faces and hands clean. I've got some tricks up my sleeve. He's my focus now. Is that her name?
Yeah, can you give me the date on that? Can you, I mean,
I
there's
don't know.
so many reasons I could
I
have
know.
put that. It could have been when he put the black chamber out to stand in front of my office to call my
But
resignation.
you're
or-
telling them
Yeah.
to
Who's
join
them?
Tammy. This was to Tammy and Bobby. It was
to
on
do
a group,
what?
it was on a group chat, but you put it in a group chat, and we're supposed to be working together. And it's like don't get keep your poker faces like to pretend to be
But, Chrissy, that's-
on my committee.
No.
Like,
This is part of the problem. So you're reading a text,
I read
but
the
you
whole
don't
text.
have
I
everything in
did.
front of it. I don't believe you do. Because if you would see all the texts that I have that say Christina's working, she's busting her ass off. You guys
and I
support
did,
her, do all that.
I did see you say
And
some of
Bobby,
that.
did you see Bobby respond to me in a private message saying, thank you for doing everything that you're doing and saying all the stuff that you're saying, because that's what we need, because everyone needs to work together. You're bringing out one text message, probably, and I could probably look it up on my phone, because I saved all those, where he may have had the chamber come out
What's that
and
got to do with me? Like pretend to be Chrissy,
That is not what it says.
I mean, it doesn't.
That's
but
not what it says.
To take her up on your offer, and you will get the county's support. Like what? Like there was an ulterior motive.
What am I talking about, though? Take her up on her offer of what? What were you offering?
I offered for them to be on my committee.
That's not what that is. That's not what that says.
That's 100% what it was.
Take her up on her offer to join you. That's not a bad thing, is it?
No, but the way you say it,
The way I said in a
you
text.
will get the county support in other towns for what's to come. So you're telling them to do that to get support for when it was their slate against our slate.
No, that's not what
That's
that is.
exactly
No,
what
it's
it
not.
was.
Who's
It's
slate
exact-
against who's slate?
Ballich's slate against Stylin's slate. We'll
It
call
seems
First
like-
of all, wait, tell me when that text, you got a date on that? Because Sue Stylen
there's a
didn't
date.
decide
May
to run
4th.
Saturday, May 4th.
May 4th.
It was the day before.
May 4th. When did the petitions? November? Sue didn't decide to run until, or not even November. When was petitions? November 21st? It was right around Thanksgiving, right? Sue didn't decide to run until like 2 days before the petitions needed to be turned in.
Here you are. This
So
is
how
the
is that-
night. This is the night I was doing my chairman when I was trying to get votes, and I had my thing at Ruby. And you say,
no.
I say, kick him in the dick and kick him hard. Fuck him. I'm so over his ass.
And why is that? Why don't you tell the story about what happened at Rosie's when we all tried to get all the Republicans together and Ruben walked in drunk, as you said.
I know, but
and
you
came in and started screaming that we're
preach this-
Democrats.
You preach
yeah,
this
I'm
shit.
pissed.
Like I wanna bring it together. I want the community together.
But
Here's
when
another.
wait, hold on. You got to speak.
Hold on.
Let me speak,
Yeah, let's,
okay?
let's go back and forth.
So you want to bring up that kick him in the dick? Absolutely. I was pissed
Who?
as Ruben. I was pissed as hell that we
Damn,
tried.
Ruben.
Me, myself, Rosie, and Chrissy got all the Republicans together to meet at Taza to try to have a meet and greet. So this side didn't fight with this side, and it worked out great. And Ruben shows up out of nowhere and starts screaming at me and all these other people that he didn't even know, and started saying, "You're a bunch of Democrats. You did this. You did that." Yes, I'm pissed. We tried to do this really nice thing to bring everyone together, and he wanted to fight my husband in the hall or out in the alley. He wanted to fight some other guy, Dan Cronin, out in the alley.
Well, Dan Cronin said a bunch of shit about my husband to me the first time he met me, and it's like, really?
Well,
like, I don't even
I'm
know.
not Dan. I'm not
I
Dan
know,
Cronin.
but like,
I'm talking about what you're talking about. Yeah, and I still tell Ruben I'm pissed at him for that. He knows that. We spoke after that. He was supposed to meet me for lunch to talk about it, and he canceled. He said, "You know what? I screwed up." And I was pissed. Yeah, of course. And then you had your fundraiser or whatever it was, your meet and greet to get votes at his place. Why would you have it at his place knowing he
because
just ripped?
Because it was the next day or 2 days after. I mean, he offered to have it way before that ever happened.
But your comments to us were you were pissed at Ruben yourself.
I wish he wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, you were pissed, so was I. But I'm talking to
tried
friends
to keep it
saying,
together.
I might have even told you.
But there was no.
It seems like
Everyone was mad he did that.
It seems
let's be real.
other people put you two against each other.
No,
I swear to God, like
no. If we're gonna be honest here, I think you, not now, but before, I think you did try to be friendly, and so did I. I think you knew that. I mean, we had conversations, tears. We spoke about a lot of things. But
you guys drink a lot before when those tears are coming through?
I think she wanted good for the Republican Party, and so do I. But I think what happened was, like she said, there's this group that couldn't stand Ballach because of the things he did to them.
Let's kind of hold that thought and let's talk about Ballach, because Ballach has been brought up and left and right and all over the freaking place. His name is literally in the streets, literally.
Still,
and no joke. And how long has, first of all, Steve Ballach is who right now?
He is on the Will County Board.
County Board. He used to be Homer Township Supervisor,
well,
correct?
He technically is until May 18th.
How long has he had that position for?
4 years.
4 years. Was he anywhere in local politics before then?
Yes, he served as the, he was a township clerk, and then he was, before that, a township trustee. I ran with Ballach.
Homer Glen trustee.
No, Township. Homer Township.
Township, because he lives in
sorry.
Township somewhere.
He lives in Homer Glen. He lives in Orland Park, Homer Glen.
So my question, I guess, is how long has Steve been in politics locally?
20 years.
20 years.
Oh, a little over 20 years.
20 years? Mm-hmm. Okay. So in the last 20 years, it seems that, and I know people, for some apparent reason, people hate on him all the time, that he knows people can say different things. Communication can be bad, and people can say some shit that not necessarily maybe true, or maybe not even that it's not true. Just some people's
taken out of context.
That, and some people talk out of their ass.
Right. I mean, yes, he's not the most eloquent speaker.
I mean, and sometimes you get that, but it seems like for the last 20 years that he was here, it seemed like he kept Homer Glen the way it is. I would say Township and Homer Glen, right? Red,
yes,
which I like.
Yep.
Green,
yep,
just pretty freaking green. And it's not one thing on top of another, a development on top of another. I don't know if I really like that kind of stuff. I don't mind it. We need to expand, but to a certain degree, right?
Right.
So it seems like for the last 20 years that he's been in local politics, he did some good.
Yes.
Right? Can we agree on that?
A lot of good.
Yeah.
So what the hell happened in the last 4 years?
So, I mean, I could testify to this because I ran with Steve Ballach. I was on his slate when he ran for clerk. No, he ran for, I forgot what he ran for, clerk or trustee or something. And I actually served with him. And he was the type of guy that would say, kind of like what I am now. We actually kind of flip-flopped roles. I was 24 when I first ran. I won when I was 25, and I was the type that was like, I hate the Democrats. Obama sucks. This person, the Democrats are useless. And he was the type of guy that would tell us that, hey, we need Democrats. Democrats need to vote for us to keep the Republican Party alive. We want to bring people over.
It makes sense.
It does, and that makes sense.
Makes sense to a degree.
To a degree today, depending on what you're running for and what's going on. But over time, when he became township supervisor, things started, in my opinion, to turn into where if he didn't want you to run, you couldn't run. Just like when I wanted to run for mayor, he wanted me to run with him for county board, and I said, Steve, I don't want to. My heart's in the village. I want to run for the village. He got mad at me. He said, you know what? I don't want you to run for mayor right now. I said, well, Steve, that's what I'm going to do. And that's where we met at the table. And I said, I want to run for mayor. If you want to have control of the board, because everyone keeps saying I want power, but the mayor has no power. Mayor has zero power to do anything. We have responsibilities. We don't have power.
Well, you also have the tie-breaking vote, right?
Tie-breaking, but when does that happen?
Well,
I don't know, but I'm curious.
yeah.
I got you.
It won't now. She's got the whole board. So
I don't know. You should. I mean, even before there was, everyone's on different sides. A lot of people think that just because you get somebody in office, look at Trustee Stu Silent. Her and I didn't agree on half of what came before the board.
she's not there anymore.
No, and she's going to be the township supervisor. But to go back to Steve real fast, I think what happened was in his 4 years of being township supervisor, he started doing things that the township didn't want. Like what really killed him was he wanted to build on the open space. And if everybody knows people in Homer, they like their open space. They like their trees. They like their farmland.
But what is open space?
Right.
Open space is open space.
Well,
you can't build
is it
houses on it.
Open space as in farmland that's that's owned by somebody, or open space designated as open space?
No, the
It
village
was not
or the-
designated as open space.
Yes, it was.
It was
What
not.
was?
Yes,
What are we
it
talking
is.
about?
That's I've been told it's not that designated as open space.
But what?
And on top of it, you have all of the new let me say this. There was a bill that it left the House. It got past the House. It's going into the Senate. And it is a bill, and it looks like it's for open space. And all the trustees and Sue Stylen and Mason, they all signed this as proponents. They're proponents. That means they're for this bill. And this bill actually now gives townships, which it makes so much sense why all the time there was a coordinated effort. Okay, so around the state, townships went Democrat across the state, not just in Will County like everybody likes to think. And I kept thinking, why? Why do they want control so bad over these townships? Well, it's this bill. Townships will now have control once it passes the Senate. The townships will have control to reduce from 50 acres to 12 acres, and then they can lease the land to activist groups who
I don't know anything about this bill. I don't even know what she's talking about.
Who can put solar farms on open space.
Well,
I mean,
village
she's that
of
deep
Homer-
into it, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so
that's what I'm
this
saying
is
that's where we are
and
different.
not one single Republican voted for this bill, but your whole township slate, all your people, they were proponents of this bill.
Yeah,
so
I can't answer for them because
okay.
I didn't sign it.
But
I don't know
these
what
are
the
the
bill
people that
says.
you supported, and they could very easily give this. Okay, and even if they don't, let's just say they would never do that, because I really don't. I think they just didn't read the bill, which
Yeah.
is so dumb to
That's
actually.
a very common thing.
I mean, but to just sign your name to something like that's.
Well, I mean, come on.
I mean, you're gonna be the township supervisor and your trustees, and you can't read something like that.
Come on, Balich did not read his bills.
I don't care.
Come on.
That this is
You're gonna
legislation.
you're going to call a spade a spade.
Okay,
Call a
that's-
real, let's be honest
This is
here.
legislation.
I feel like half the politicians don't read the whole bill.
No, I agree.
I agree
When
with
was
you.
this,
I
by
don't
the
even
way?
know what bill
it
you're talking about.
It came out in January, but it just passed the House.
So this is just
What's
now.
the number,
Yeah.
Bill? What's
Okay.
the bill number?
I just posted it on my social media. I got to look at it. But yeah, so it passed the House. Now it's going to the Senate. Now one Republican voted for it, and it's not a good thing. So, and what I'm saying is maybe Sue and the rest of them would never do something
You
like
know
that.
they would never do that.
Okay.
But what
then-
about the next
But
election?
I can guarantee, yes.
What
I can-
happens if the election goes the other way
Yep,
next time and
'cause it
Democrats
will.
take over?
No, what I'm
and
saying
they
is-
decide to put
Yep.
freaking solar
There you
farms
go.
all over the damn
Well,
There
I
place.
you
can
go.
tell you in the village of Homer Glen, we don't allow them. So, I mean,
Doesn't matter.
we passed
It doesn't
Yeah, but
matter.
the township,
it's a
right?
township.
But that could change.
Maybe that isn't, but how many acres in township do they have that they can do that on? So open space is deemed open space.
And they
What
can
you said.
reduce it to 12 acres.
Okay, so like I said, I don't even know what bill you're talking about. I don't look at that
I'm just
stuff.
saying, like
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
the
Well,
kind.
she's not,
these,
you know.
these are, you
And
know,
if they signed it and they screwed up, then they got to own it and they got to eat that. I mean,
elections have consequences, you know, and
that-
they may not have
but that's
understood.
not them. That's not an election thing. That's them signing a proponent of a bill. So I mean, that's not.
Yeah, but
but
they-
anyone can sign that. You can sign it. I can sign it. Yeah.
100% they
Yeah.
can sign it, but they signed it, and it's a terrible bill. It's
I think it's more about the fact that they did sign it when it's something that even if
How
you
do
guys
we
say
know? I mean, no offense, but I don't don't believe everything you say because there's
ask
because the things that
Nicole
you've done in the
Waha.
past.
She's a rep,
Yeah.
and she actually called Sue Stylen from the floor and said, "Why you signed this?"
Yeah.
And she said, "Just so you know, like none of the Republicans are signing this. We're all against it."
So what was Sue's response?
don't-
If we know what Nicole said, what did Sue say?
I'm not
Did
sure.
she say I screwed up or?
She thought it was a good bill.
Oh, well, it's on her. I mean,
So-
then she's got to eat. Then she's got to own that,
Okay.
right? I mean,
Yeah, I mean that's
these
true.
are-
just like Steve had to own his
Right.
mistakes.
Right?
Damn, Steve is a famous person
Okay,
around
so
here.
I'm just gonna say how I have not known Steve as long as Christina has. Okay, Christina has a past with Steve. What I can tell you is I have not been in politics for a very long time. I built my business. I raised my children. I didn't really get into politics. I just didn't, and that's where a lot of people are that have young kids.
Well, that's why the turnout is the way it is.
You got
right?
it. So I got involved when they started masking kids. My kids came home from school, and when everything was going on, they're like, I don't want to go. Well, when everything, they were going back, and they said, well, you got to go back with masks. And my kids were like, I don't want to wear masks. Like they were not, and I never put a mask on my face. I refused to do it.
I put it on the first week.
I did it. I did it for
That was it.
a plane ride, but it was a Trump mask, but I had to fly, but they, I'm going to fight to the death for my kids. And if they come home and they say they don't want to wear a mask,
You're not only fighting for
I'm
your
going
kids,
to
you're fighting
fight.
for society.
Yes. So I fought, and I went to school board meetings. I cried at school board meetings and had parents, actually a school board member's husband, making fun of me while I was fighting for these kids. But okay, so I started Illinois Patriots. It was just a stupid Facebook page, but it got all of us parents together to talk about what was going on in 2020. And Frankie Pretzel, who's a county board member, messaged me, and he said, what can I do to help? And I said, get me involved in Homer politics. I don't know anybody. He gave me Christina's number, and he gave me Steve's number. So I met with both of them. He said, Steve's a little rough around the edges. I don't know if you're going to like him. I'm like, it's perfect. That's my guy. So I met with Christina, Brock, and the mayor, George at the time, and said, this is where I'm at. Like, we need help. I'm going to be going to this school board meeting. I would like support from the mayor, okay? Didn't show. You did. You did show, okay? You didn't speak, but you did show. Steve Ballot showed, and he fought endlessly for us. At every school board meeting, he was there. He rallied troops. He got heavy into what we were dealing with. He felt that from us parents. We felt helpless, and there were not a lot of voices. There were not, and this is where I have a problem with all these Republicans.
Right, when I get a chance, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Of course.
This is where I have a problem with all the Republicans that are all of a sudden, running for PC and running for these positions that claim to be Republicans. Where were they when all this was going on? Because I know I felt very alone, and if there was any time at all to stand up and fight against something and let people know, hey, you're not alone. This is not right. That would have been the time. And none of them were there. None of them were fighting for us at all.
Okay, so that's I'm so happy you said that, because
Okay.
that is part of where I think the miscommunication and your misunderstanding comes from.
Okay.
Because you're saying you're standing there at a school board meeting or standing outside on a lawn with a sign with glitter paint or whatever you're doing, while we are actually, and you said I was at these meetings, right?
You came to that meeting.
and
You
I came
didn't
to-
speak.
Maybe not that one, but every two.
I
but
think
hold
you
on.
were politicking while you were there.
See, but that's your perception. You
Yep.
think your perception's always right, and it's not.
Maybe not.
So at 1:00 every Tuesday, I'm dealing with Dr. Ezike. I'm on phone calls with the governor, and this is not just me. This is all the clerks and the mayors. Going to get George Yukich sat on the phone with me, our village manager. We are actually dealing with issues. I'm fighting with PCOW about how to save our village, how to save our
But
restaurants.
not one of you
Can
reached
I
out
finish?
to me and
Christy,
said,
why
hey,
do-
we're with you.
Okay, hold on. As we're doing this, I'm also running a business, trying to save the business I'm working for, while Pritzker's flying out to the Will County Health Department. I'm arguing with the Will County Health Department to keep businesses alive. I'm attending these restaurants. I was at Ruby Agave all the time. when they were trying to shut down restaurants, when the police were trying to come in, the police were, I'd be there and say, leave them open. I signed the liquor license. Leave them open.
Didn't George?
No, George was right with me.
Oh,
keeping them open. No, there was
Rosie
one.
said that George shut down
Tavern in the Glen. There was one time with Tavern in the Glen because they had the lights off and they were trying to be. We wanted to be open about it. We were like, hey, if you want to keep your restaurant open, keep your social distancing, do your thing, but just don't make a scene out of it, guys. Let's play cool. Let's be cool and let's be normal. But you said, why didn't we reach out to you? No offense, okay? And take offense. Don't take offense. I don't know. Why do I have to reach out to you? No offense, but you didn't. You were right away combative. You wanted to fight with me. You wanted to say I wasn't doing enough. I have things I have to do.
I did not fight with you back then at all.
I don't have time to answer every single person's phone call to say, hey, where are you? What are you doing? I do the best I can, but I'm dealing with other bigger matters.
So what have you done about the pornography in the schools?
I don't even know. I never, you know what, when you said that earlier, just 20 minutes ago, whatever, never heard that before. We have pornography in our schools? Ooh,
Yeah.
Where?
I mean, it's
Should watch our podcast.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, okay? If you tell me right now, and you could show me proof that there's pornography in our schools, I will go to the school tomorrow.
Go to the library.
Oh yeah.
To the what?
It's in the libraries. It's in the schools.
Lockport High School Library has pornography.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Well, like
graphic novels.
Okay. Well, then I'll go there tomorrow and find out. But you guys said the same thing about the library, and that day when you guys had the library, the library thing where
I wasn't there.
When the candidates spoke back and forth or whatever, I literally went up to the library and I said, okay, I got my 9-year-old daughter with me. She wants to check out a book that has female and male parts on it, or 2 males or 2 females, or males turning into females, whatever. How does this process work? And they said, well, ma'am, you got a library card? I said, yeah. They said, every book she checks out. Now, what 9-year-old daughter is going to go into a library without their parent, or 10 or 12 or 13, 14 years old, are going to go in a library without their parent to check out a book? If they do, you as a parent, well,
that's funny because
this is what I'm saying.
I used to live at the library myself.
But now, if you check out a book, if you're under the age of 18, your parent gets a notification, text, email, and they'll say, this is the book that your child checked out.
Really?
Huh.
Absolutely.
I
I
did
did it
not know
myself.
that.
Yes, they do.
You ended up telling me that.
Yeah,
in
I
the
did it
past.
myself just to prove it, because I wanted to say, if my daughter or my son,
It's not
at
like that in
whatever
the high
age-
school.
Yeah,
That's what I was
Well,
going to say.
okay, well,
yeah.
you're saying that in the high school, right? I don't know. I don't have kids
Right.
in that
And
high
I don't
school.
care. I mean, kids in high school have seen much worse. It's just the point. They're pushing this on our kids.
I don't agree with
It's
that.
in the
I don't
Supreme-
agree they should be
it's in the-
pushing it.
Right. It's in the Supreme Court right now. Like, all we ever want.
Prostitution and
we
all that
didn't
stuff. I
want
don't agree with that.
Apparently, one
We
of
didn't want to. We just want to opt out. We didn't want it burning books, and that's what we've been demonized. You
And
know,
that's the funny thing, because they were accusing you of burning books, but I always thought, and I think I told you this, I thought it was the other side that was
Right.
burning books. Like, I got confused
Bro.
on it. But again, here's what this is what I
they're
was
bringing
saying.
the wrong books though.
I wanted to circle back on one thing that you had said in the very beginning that I didn't get to. You mentioned that when these slates were running, that that people were afraid of a caucus. I'm extremely disappointed you actually said that, because
Why?
you just flat out lied
Why?
on air. You're the one that called me and asked me, are they planning on a caucus, right? And
Right.
what did I say? I said, I think a caucus would be great. My husband and I, even though we're not PCs, we think a caucus would be great. Okay, wait, hold on. Even if I didn't say that.
did not.
Okay, hold on. Even if I didn't say that, it's in those text messages that you
Find 'em.
clearly didn't see.
Find it.
Wait, hold on. But me and my husband don't vote. All you PCs voted unanimously not to have a caucus.
first of all, I wasn't there,
That- right.
and Steve
Voted
said, no,
not to
Steve
have a
said,
caucus.
Steve said there was no way it was going to happen, even if he want. We didn't have the votes, so what was
Doesn't
the
matter.
point? I agreed.
Come on.
I agreed.
Your individuals vote the way you want. If you lose, you lose, but vote what you want. That's part of
agree.
the problem is everyone follows suit. You got to stand up and vote for what you believe in.
Yeah,
And if
well-
you guys just followed suit, that's on you, not us.
I think his way of thinking was if they said they wanted the primary, they would have went for the caucus, and it was a reverse psychology thing. It didn't work.
Okay, well, let's talk about that primary, right? Did I or did I not have a conversation with you and you didn't want Steve to run? I begged you to have your husband run for trustee.
I didn't want my
for trustee?
husband to run.
Right. And I asked him to run for...
I knew this was going to be, it's not that I didn't want Steve to run. I knew that if Steve ran, this is exactly what was going to happen.
And we wanted to avoid that.
We did.
We wanted to keep the Republicans strong.
Yep.
And we discussed if Steve didn't run, you can pull people from this side of Republicans and this side of Republicans, and we'd have a great team that ran
But
together.
he was never not going to run.
Right,
And
so-
I kept saying that.
Right.
I knew it.
But why is that my fault?
It's not your fault.
Well, you came in saying you put all these people together. I didn't even know. Me and you talked almost every single day.
I said
Almost
you put
every
all
day.
these people together. The PCs.
No, I did not.
The PCs.
Christina, do I got a scout? Do I have a Bible? Do I got a book? I could swear on it right now. I did not even know 4 of them until the day the election happened.
Well, it seems like you guys worked together pretty well when you guys did work together. So maybe we should continue to work together. Maybe find a way.
I actually have a question. So you guys are both Republican, right?
Yeah.
So where's the line that you guys don't agree with? Like,
I can tell you exactly in my opinion, where the line is.
yeah. I just want to know, like, where is the
the divide.
The
maybe?
divide? Yeah.
So, Christy's the Republican chair. We're in 2 different games. She's in a Republican game. I'm in a nonpartisan game. I'm a Republican. But the position I chose to run for is a nonpartisan seat. Doesn't mean I gave up my values. It just means that I rather work for my community, because when I was that Republican, remember I told you before, I was the one that said, I hate Democrats, I hate this, I hate that. The Republican Party did not leave a seat for me at the table anymore. They kicked me out.
So you ran to the most
Nope,
leftist,
Chrissy.
commie,
Nope. Who?
Democrats.
That was the other thing
Ellen
you said. You
and
said-
all of them.
No, hold on. You said, there's another thing I wanted to clarify. You said I was outside talking to Ellen. That's not true. I never spoke to her outside.
No, I didn't say you. It was
Yeah, you said all
it was
of you
their
were outside.
that whole slate was out there talking to Ellen.
Okay,
Keith
now
Gray was
let's-
out there. Severs, who has a lot to say, that she was out there.
I'm gonna stop
Ken
you.
Marcin was out there with her as she
Ellen
was.
is an election person from the county. I don't even
So
know what
what?
her title is, so she could come. But hey,
They
let
were
me-
talking like they were best friends. I mean, Dave Sinkus was sitting with the Democrat chair. You have the Republican chairman like talking it up, like over talking to Republicans with the Democrat chair or the old
let me-
Democrat chairman.
I'm going to ask you an honest question.
Yeah,
Whose fault is that?
is what?
Don't you think the Republican chair should be bringing the Republican Party together?
You guys, okay, and everybody got up at the last Homer Township
not everybody.
Republic, whatever,
3 people.
and said how bad I suck and that Trump went had worked with the left. No, they came to him. He didn't go to them.
Okay.
And that's what you guys are doing. Yes, you're working with them.
That's your perception, and you want to believe that so bad. But
Because-
Chrissy, I'm sitting here right now telling you
Okay.
that is not true.
You know who is doing let's talk about the division. Okay?
yeah.
Where's the division happening? The division is
Within our
happening
party?
No, it's not within our party. It is all these hate pages that does nothing but goes after Republicans.
Okay.
And your friends, all of the people in the slate like it and laugh at it and everything else. And instead of being a leader in Homer Glen as the mayor, why can't you say, "Hey, cut the shit," because you know who is running them. It's your big buddy Susie. Yeah, and
Okay, hold on.
I have a text. Where you
Go
say
ahead, prove it, show it.
that you say you know who's running these pages, and you're trying to get them shut down.
Okay, now I get to rebut this again.
Go ahead.
So the first thing you said was it's the hate pages that are dividing.
Yeah.
Christy,
put your phone
you said you got involved over masks. Okay, I understand that 20 years that I've been in it, Democrats and Republicans have been fighting each other forever.
And
Forever.
now
that's how
there
it's
is
always
no
been.
left. There is no gray area right now. Like there is literally none.
I think there's a super far
Oh, my
right,
God.
and I think
There
there's
is
a
not.
super far left, and then I think
I'm
there's
so sick of being called super far right. Like I have
I'm
been
far right.
You have been
I'm far
more
right.
Republican.
Yes.
You have voted more Republican than
Every
me. But I'm
election.
called far right because I don't want boys and girls locker rooms.
I'm with the
because
same way. I don't want that either. I just said I'm far right too. I'm far right.
I think we all are here.
Yeah, I'm far
You're
right.
talking to the same crowd.
Yeah.
here.
So, and I think when you say
But hold on,
boys
because
and-
if we say far right, then we're gonna get canceled.
yeah, maybe.
No, I mean,
I don't know what that means.
What is
So,
what?
and I noticed in our
You'll
text,
find out real
It
quick.
means well, this
I
will
know
never
that
see the
you
light
get-
of day.
you get canceled if you say that?
I mean, no. But people
Get targeted.
What is the exemption? What is the explanation of what is right and far right?
Well,
Because some
Christy
people
brought up-
consider far right Nazis.
right,
Literally, right?
Right.
I'm called the Nazi every day.
I don't think that's
By my own
correct in any way.
It's so
like,
crazy.
If you want to talk about Nazis, but we're talking about the far left, if anything, because they're the one who want overall control of
let's
everything.
instigate some random riots. And,
Yep.
you know,
And then you can riot when everybody else is locked down and COVID doesn't spread then, right?
Yeah.
So that's okay, right? But otherwise,
these businesses can be open, but you
Yeah.
just can't.
Well,
Yeah,
even
exactly.
through COVID, I had car shows that had 800 cars, and we all had little.
Some of us went to those.
Yeah. So I mean, like, you can't say that I wasn't there
Okay.
fighting that or whatever.
So
right?
you say Clown Car 2.0 is gone, working on Clown Car Original. And I said, how about Homer Township hate page? Trying. They removed my post, you say,
Yeah.
but then you then you send me a text message, who I'm assuming this is Susie with Rolo, and kind of making fun about, I'm going to make a page, side quote, will be not Rolo, not Tolo. I'm Romo Tomasi, the lesser known brother, which you'd have to know all these stupid,
listen,
fake
That's good.
profiles.
before this election happened,
Someone paid her to do it. She is talking to the person who paid her. I told her if whoever is paying her for this, they need to put their name behind it and not ours. I told her to take it down. She is calling the other person. You know who's doing
you know
all
what
these
that is.
things.
No, right, Chrissy, you're mixing conversations. I know exactly what that is.
Okay.
Remember when I was running for mayor? Chrissy, that is so old. I can't even believe you're bringing that
Okay,
up
what?
right now. That is when
These are all when
No.
before you
Listen-
became mayor.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
during our campaign.
Okay, so that one right there, there was
Yes.
a post that a person put out that said it had my slate, and then it had some other school board candidates and some other people they supported.
Okay.
Right? That's an individual. That's who they support. That's not who I supported. That's who they supported. Her friend made that graphic for her because she's not a graphic person. She paid someone to make a graphic of who she supported, right? What did I do? I remember I was sitting in the car. You called me. I was campaigning. You called me. I called her right away and said, take that shit down. And she did. Did she or did she not?
yes.
Yeah.
all I know is the Homer Village Square is a
All of
riot.
it. All of it. And I mean,
It's a
no,
riot. I
it's
had
a
a blast
constant-
in there before election.
It's a
I can name all the
constant-
people I had to deal with in there. it was
Well,
fun.
You talk about hate pages. The Homer homepage was before the Homer
Okay.
Township page.
And I have
And
nothing to do with any of these
Didn't say
pages.
you
You
did.
are the
Didn't s-
mayor of Homer Glen. You know Susie runs these. Susie ousted
Who the hell is
herself.
Susie?
So it's her
Susie,
friend.
Okay, hold on. Susie is a friend of mine.
Yeah.
Susie who?
right? Susie
Well,
O'Connor.
whatever.
Yeah,
Don't matter.
so you don't have to use
Don't-
that
yeah,
same
don't
thing.
say it.
Oh, sorry.
So-
well, she is a friend of mine. She's a big supporter of mine.
Oh, she's
Here, hold
obsessed
on.
with you.
She-
she's in
listen,
love with her.
I
It's
have
psychotic.
I have had conversations with Susie, and I'm gonna find my last one, and I'm gonna tell you exactly.
Okay,
what
because she did out herself the other day. It just so you know how, I don't know if you know how Facebook works, but when you admin and you put that somebody could do anonymous, the only person that knows who anonymous
yeah,
is
is
the
the owner.
admin.
Yeah.
And she said Susie was having a conversation with an anonymous poster by their name. She outed herself with that Homer Township page. She's
I
your
don't
best friend.
Stop with the
You're
best friend nonsense.
friends with her. Yes, you
I am?
are.
Oh, I am.
Yes, you
Okay,
are.
Okay.
You
Again, your perception.
whatever.
See, that's the problem, Christy. This is why I can't.
Okay, so you don't
This
think
is
you can?
why I have an
Okay.
issue is because you make stuff up and you stick with it, and you're like,
Okay,
I know
so
this
maybe
for a
she.
fact,
Let's
and
just
that's
say she's not your
true.
best friend. Let's just say
Okay,
she's not your
okay.
best friend. But do you not think if you said, "Hey, Susie, this is getting a little psychotic,"
You don't think
like,
I have 1,000
Nope.
times? You don't think I've went to
Nope.
her house?
Nope.
I can prove it.
Nope. You
I'll prove it.
prove it.
I went to Susie's house with another friend and told her, you got to stop with this. In fact, Jessica Barnes had me, damn it, I said names again.
That lady's funny.
Well, she's
Sorry.
psychotic too.
She had me blocked for a long, she's a hard Democrat.
Yeah.
I mean, she's like we don't. I mean, she's on a whole nother level of hard.
Listen, in those groups, you can tell pretty easily who's who,
Oh yeah.
Who?
what
Yeah.
side they're on.
But
Because
there-
everybody I was fighting in that freaking group, it was fun. But
Did you make
I
yourself
was on the
anonymous?
left. Hell no. What? For what? Find me. Whatever. Whatever. Peg me.
Now,
whatever. Like,
what I'm saying is, you are the mayor here.
what does that have to do with a
Because,
Facebook page?
because you always
These been
preach,
going on
but you
before.
preach about division and
Yeah.
how we all need to come together.
Yeah.
It's your job to bring Homer Glen.
And I'm going to tell you right now.
All right, so
when you say
you-
bring people together, who do you mean? Do you mean just Republicans, or do you mean Republicans, Democrats, and Independents?
I don't listen. I don't care to ever.
Because our community is together.
And they are Democrats I don't care about associating with them. I don't.
Yeah, you don't have to.
I really don't.
No one's ever
Neither
said,
did you. You don't have to associate with these people. You choose to.
Okay.
You went to their side because
No,
you felt
Chrissy,
because they gave you
again.
a seat at the table, Christina.
No, I made
Instead
my
of-
own table. I created my own table of people that I can trust and I can work with. Not one Democrat. I
so
never
you're not
invited one
working-
No, I'm not.
You're not working with Jessica Barnes, Sherry
Never.
Cooling
Nope.
Boeing.
Nope.
None of them.
No.
Wow.
And in fact,
The
hold on.
last things came real out now real for real for.
Well, here, Chrissy, I'll tell you what. When the Democrat Party wanted to endorse the reset slate, I'll find the message and I said, don't do it.
But
In
they
fact,
did it anyway, right?
They did it anyways.
Yeah.
And in fact, Sue Steinle didn't. Damn it.
Well, she's already been said like 10
All right,
times.
whatever. Everyone knows who
So
we are.
listen,
So-
we're gonna try to keep this
Everybody's
local,
gonna
all
have,
right?
everybody's gonna have
Beep out the last names.
everybody's
I
gonna
don't
have a chance to come on.
I mean, hey, listen, if anybody wants to talk about anything of that sort,
Yeah. Oh, I would
This is an
love
open
to
channel
be
for
on the show
anybody.
with them.
Message us,
Okay,
comment.
let's talk about Brian. Because
Who's
that's
Brian?
your buddy too.
But again, you know how many times I met Brian in person? 3 times.
Oh, you guys look pretty chummy. And the night you were elected,
Yeah,
when,
he showed up to my election night. Everyone was welcome. And he asked to take a picture. Am I not allowed to do that because you don't like him?
his clown car or his artwork looks very similar to the clown car, which you
And that
have
could
been
be him.
accused
I have-
of being.
I'm
by
accused,
the way,
Chrissy, I'm accused. You
So-
accused me of being a murderer twice. I'm everything.
I didn't say you were a
I'm a
murderer. I
drug
just
dealer.
said-
I do drugs on the
No,
side.
I just
mean,
said
I do it all. I'm
you
used
got a couple
to it.
Wow,
murders
wow.
on, that
Homer
you're
Glen
involved
politics
in.
are
I don't
awesome.
To
know,
be honest, that's not funny.
Well, you are.
That is not
That's
funny.
not funny at all.
but you're
Two people,
wrapped up.
a mother and a father got murdered, and they have kids left behind, and everyone wants to make it a joke. You
It's
guys should
not
be,
a joke.
It's disgusting that you guys would even
It's
bring
not
that
a
up.
joke. It's
You guys, okay. A woman gets murdered by her husband,
you
and
just-
I'm involved.
But you
guys
just
are
said
nuts.
I'm calling you a murderer. I've never called you a
Christy,
murderer.
you went on a podcast. Maybe it was this one. I don't know. You went somewhere and said,
Not
"Well,
here.
if it looks like a duck and and all
I
that."
don't remember saying that.
You did. You said, "Well, it was on the Facebook with that
Derulo.
what one?
Was it Derulo?
No.
Oh.
I don't know what that is.
Derulo brought this together. So shout out to
No,
Derulo.
it was the face, whatever, the thing in Joliet. You were on there saying,
Oh,
well,
that
it
guy.
looks like that she. Chrissy, what is wrong with you people to even bring that up? That's ridiculous. And you're the Republican chairman. You should behave better, act better, and be
You
more.
want to talk about? I'm in a volunteer position.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not volunteer.
It is a volunteer.
But
I
it's
don't get paid.
This doesn't
I
matter
don't
if you get paid or not.
It
I
doesn't
get paid.
matter. I'm a volunteer position.
I
You've
get
been
paid.
elected to represent a village.
Yeah.
And you want
And I'm not out there talking about people like
And you want
that.
to school? Are you kidding me?
Give me a
I've
time that
seen the way
I've
you've
defended
talked to-
you.
I've seen the way you've talked to people. So don't try to
Talk
school
to
me
how?
and
When
scold
they want to
me
call
for
me
the
a
way
murderer,
I talk.
of course I'm going to say, what is wrong with you?
It's not just that. I've seen
Give
you
me
on social
something.
media.
No, you had Chrissy. You can't.
Yeah.
First of all, guys, let's just get to the point
Okay.
that
Oh, sorry.
let's just not to the point, but
No murders happened.
let's establish
Right.
that the
You're
social
not a
media.
murderer. I will publicly say I
Thank
don't
you.
think you were a
It's
murderer.
ridiculous.
Let's just say that social media in Homer Glen is toxic.
It's toxic.
Very
It's downright
toxic.
disgusting.
I
And
wanna
if
join
could,
it.
If I can delete the
join it.
homepage and the Homer Township page and the clown car,
Oh,
I
Susie
would.
did that.
There's a
'cause
clown
she-
car page?
I would.
She knew she was caught, so
What's
she
the clown car?
It's like a
it's-
Will County clown
it's-
car
It started in
that
21.
you accused me of running. Yeah.
I didn't accuse you.
Yeah.
Ellen accused. Ellen
called
told.
Ellen.
Ellen said you
I called.
did it.
I Facebook messaged Ellen because I don't have her number. Don't talk to her. I Facebook messaged her and said, "Here's my number. Call me when you can. I have a question to ask you." I flat out asked her. I said, "I heard that Chrissy was summoned to some little thing, and you apparently told her I run the clown car."
in front of my attorney
She
and
said
hers.
she said you're a liar, and that was never said. And she said when I come on this podcast, if I wanted to call her and call you out on it, she would do it.
Okay, I can call my attorney. Do you think he would lie?
I don't know who he is.
Let's keep
but
the
I mean-
attorneys out of it.
I mean, my attorney and her attorney. So why don't you call
well,
her attorney and
let's-
ask if she
I
said
don't want
that?
to. Here's the thing: is I don't care. Like,
You
no
don't care
offense,
because
I
maybe you
don't care.
are clown car. It makes sense. It started right after
Chrissy.
Balich won all those races in 21, and you
Or I wasn't
decided to
fighting with
run.
Balich then. No, I wasn't. So why would I? Why would I create a clown car and talk about myself?
What the hell is this clown car?
It's a Facebook page.
I'm
And
so
that
curious.
it just rips on Republicans.
yeah, but half the people they rip, and I don't even know. I don't even know what they're talking about.
How can I
I'm
join
sure
this
it's
group?
not just you. I'm sure there's
Again,
multiple.
Regardless.
Again, I think that's part of the problems. And it's
Listen,
like,
I
it's
feel
like
like
paranoia.
I feel like division is literally created by
He says, she says.
other.
that's what I'm saying. I don't believe
Circumstances.
don't
I really
believe
do that. I
Anything
really do.
I hear and half of what I see. You for some reason, like, and I told you this before, so this is not nothing new. It almost seems like you believe. As soon as someone says something, you're like, you believe it right away. You can't do that in this game. You can't believe anything you hear. Nothing.
Oh,
if I believed everything I
believe me,
heard.
Snakes are slithering around me everywhere. Believe me, I know it. I feel it. You know, it's
I know it
politics. I get it.
But regardless of the fact,
But it doesn't
I'm
have
not sure.
to be politics.
I'm
though.
not sure who's running what page. Homer homepage, I think.
And you said something about an affidavit. I'll sign an affidavit. Bring me one. Give me one. I don't run the clown car. I don't run the township. I don't run the homepage. I don't have a fake profile.
And you have no idea who does.
I swear to God, on both of my children's lives.
You don't know who runs any of these pages.
Any of them.
Wait,
Not
we can
one.
find that out by just looking who the admins are. No,
No.
No, because they're fake names.
fuck. Well,
Oh, that's a bad word. You said no
should,
swearing.
you should go back. You should no. I did.
There was one episode, Paul, I think, swore every 30 seconds.
Going back.
I mean, I don't care. I just I want you to get kicked off.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll be all right.
We're
I think the people in Homer Glen might hate us a little bit. That's okay. I think that a lot of the division is caused literally by these social media channels.
Well, what I think is going on is the left sees this division
100%.
and they're going
They're trying to manipulate
And
it.
they're-
They
I think
are
that-
100% going to capitalize on it because what's going to happen to you is they're going to end up running somebody against you.
Of course they are.
They're 100% going
You don't
to
think
be.
Christy, I
there's-
told you this.
There's going to be. This is what happened in Naperville. Naperville was a stronghold. There was a group that ran against another group. There was vendettas and everything else, and that group won. And then after that, the Dems saw the blood in the water and they took over.
So we
They
should probably
pounced.
start with. It's hard to say who runs these pages, right?
I have a,
But maybe it's a better idea to start a new page,
yeah, well,
a Homer page, right?
Start it.
Something like because obviously.
What were you gonna say?
I was going to, well, first of all, Paul, start it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not, bro. I'm gonna talk some. No, I'm already busy as
Well,
it
at
is.
least you won't hide your identity about it.
Bro, dude, listen. Keyboard warriors on the internet, bro,
Oh my
are
God.
exactly that. Keyboard warriors on the internet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think anyone's gonna show up to your house and be like, "I'm a fuck, bro." Go show up to my house and say that. My dog will take care of you. You know what I mean?
And
You
you
go
got
get out of the
men-
car, get right back
So
in.
Yeah,
let me,
and then
let me
say
ask
goodbye.
You, let me ask you a question. Would you ever sit on social media and create a meme and fight about a woman, another woman, and or fight with
I don't
women?
have time for that
Right.
shit.
Like, what kind of loser does
Who
that?
who
If
has
my
time?
husband did that, I would
kill
would
him.
feel like so gross. Like,
beat
you're
him.
gross. I don't think I would ever be able to sleep with him again. Like, ew.
But regardless,
That's so weird.
because you were saying before that somebody, I think that Brian
Yeah,
fellow,
he's
right?
upset. He's psychotic.
I seen some of his posts. Brian, get a life, bro.
I mean, literally, get a life.
Christy,
Doesn't-
you
what
talk
does his
about
wife
me.
say?
You go on
But you-
Facebook
but-
at
but-
least once a week
But
about
here we
me.
go. But here we go. This is what I'm talking about. This
And I
is
don't
exactly
ever
what it
say
is.
anything about you. Never. In fact, the last time I said something about you, I defended you.
No, you did.
Yes, I did. And then you screenshotted the last
And
part.
when I talk, when I say anything about you, it's about what you've done at the village, which I don't
No.
think is much. I have a problem with the prayer being taken out.
Okay, the prayer. That's a
with
good point. I'm going to talk about
With
too.
and I know it's because you said about the Muslim.
It's
you
nothing
don't
to
wanna,
do with Muslim.
Well, you
It's-
said you don't want to hear a Muslim prayer, and that's
No,
okay.
yeah, I
that
don't.
That might be your thing, but why do they didn't leave it up to the people to pray? I mean, the last administration, if I'm not mistaken, it was up. They chose who does it. I mean, Steve chose who did the prayer. He didn't say who wants to do the prayer. I mean,
No, he did. He
Okay.
didn't choose. I mean,
I don't know. I mean,
anybody can come up to pray. So, just
mean,
so
they could-
everybody knows, the previous board put in prayer. When I came in, I put in a moment of silence instead of prayer because anybody. First of all,
In what situation?
for the village board meetings.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's like a
okay,
beginning.
okay.
Wait, was that previous to this? Previous to previous administration? Was that something, or was that
No,
what?
no,
the
it's
last-
never been in the history of Homer Glen that there was prayer on the agenda.
Okay, so
Uh-huh.
previous
This was-
administration brought it in. You guys
Yeah.
took it down, put motor
Steve
signs.
brought it in.
Motor-
But I mean, so
well,
but listen,
Steve was
that's
township.
But listen, that's
Right,
up
but
to
I'm talking village.
Right.
but that should be up to every administration to decide. That shouldn't be something that has to be technically extended from one administration to the other. It doesn't, right?
But no other mayor in the surrounding area has prayer. Lockport has prayer, but they only have their police chaplain do it. Nobody else can. But anybody can pray at public comment. So why am I going to have it on the agenda and listen to people who did come to pray against me? I don't want to hear that. Plus, I go to church. I'm at church all the time. Steve shares the same church as me. If I'm going to pray, I don't need to pray at a board
I
meeting.
just think it was because the left had such a problem with it. And
Christine,
again,
it has
like,
nothing to do with the left.
and
You gotta
again,
stop that.
did it make that big of a deal? No, but because they had such an issue with it, I felt like they helped you get in that spot, and that was your. Here you go. I'm done.
No.
You know, I don't owe you anything
Well, let's
now.
see.
No, I
Let's
don't-
see what
I don't
happens in
agree
the
with
next coming
that.
years. Because realistically, if they did have their fingers in it, let's just say, right, we'll see what their plan is for the next few years. And obviously, we don't. I'm not a supporter of Democrats, right? I agree about bringing people together. I agree about that. Everybody, right? We want to,
Right.
but too many things on their side are just things I just
Yeah, you can't work with them.
do not agree
No.
with, and they will not.
Let it go.
See, I
Oh,
don't
hold
agree
on.
with
Well,
that.
let's hold on a second because there are some things that we won't let go either.
Hey, 100%.
Right.
Yep.
Right. 100%.
So finding middle ground is hard.
It is.
But it just seems like, you ever guys see that meme where there was a line, there was like a dude, and I wish I could fucking have it in front of me, but it was like the guy is in the center, right? And he's like, I'm center. And then the right's to the right and the left is to the left.
And
And
they're
the
both
one guy,
like-
and the left just keeps extending further on and calls him a bigot because he's closer to the center, closer to Republicans. That's only because the line got so much longer between them.
Yeah.
You know? Damn, I wish I had it. I would show you guys what I'm talking about. It's hard to explain. But I am a believer of bringing people together. I really am. I really want, there's, like I said, there's just certain things that just don't resonate at all with what I'm thinking, how I see the future, how we should work together. Boys and girls sports.
No.
Separate?
No.
I mean,
Not
what
allowed.
the fuck made people even think?
Why is that even a topic?
Yeah, why? Where did that come from?
When did it get so weird? And that's why I'm involved. And that's
Where
why
did
I'm
that
not
come from? Who
stopping,
the hell
because
decided
it
that's a
just
good
gets
idea?
Weirder and weirder.
I mean, I understand there's such things.
But I'm on the same page as you on that. I'm on the same page of you with no boys in bathrooms of girls, no transgender stuff. That like, none. Like I'm not.
You mentioned this before that
Yeah.
it's very rare case that happens where someone's born. I don't know what the hell
Well,
the
I
word
think
was.
the nation. There's only like 10% that agree with that. So I mean, even Democrats agree with.
But I'm
us
saying
on
like
that.
naturally born people who are like have.
In Lockport, there is a locker room that boys are allowed in.
But it,
A girls' locker room, but after hours, it's women only.
I don't know anything about that. I mean,
That still
how would
doesn't
I
matter.
know?
They still shouldn't be allowed in there.
I
but,
agree.
but is that up to the school to decide, or is that up
Yes,
to
the school board, which is why we've
What
been
the fuck?
fighting so hard. And I feel like you have never supported any. Yes, our people are. Call us right wing, whatever.
But
We
she did
don't
say
want
that she doesn't have a kid in
shit
high school,
our
so she doesn't know,
schools.
right?
Well,
So from one person.
First and
But they will
foremost,
be. She's got a little girl. Like you don't.
Well, first and
want
foremost,
that.
there's only 24 hours in a day. I have to sleep at some point.
I get it.
I'm at the village at 8 a.m.
I get
till
it.
at least 5 o'clock every day. If
But
I have
you
a board meeting,
actively worked against us, is what I'm
no,
saying.
Chrissy, please.
But you could have.
I wish I had a reset button for you, just to reset you all over, because you have this perception that you just want to like think I'm like this evil villain, that I'm always against you and I'm doing this. And that is not true. Please, for 1 second, just imagine that everything you're saying is not true. Imagine how I feel.
I wish it
Well,
wasn't.
your wish is granted because everything that you're saying is a complete lie. I will tell you right now, if my phone, and you saw, I can't get, for some reason, it just keeps circling. I don't know if the service doesn't
you have
work
to have
in here or
Wi-Fi,
what.
and this is
yeah, it doesn't
this is
work. I'm
what do you
trying
call
to pull
this?
up all
This is
stuff
one of
for you
those
to
areas
show
that's
you. I had your back.
dead zone.
I met you
On
the
purpose.
day of your election at that restaurant, that taco place, and we had a great conversation. I called all those PCs. I always had your back. The day you were so upset because the Democrats were attacking you at the county, I called every single one of them, and they called you and said, Christina said that you're having problems and you're getting attacked. No one attacks a fellow Democrat. Every single time I had your back.
Democrat or Republican?
Democrats were attacking. Christy felt that the Democrats were attacking her when she was watching the votes come in. So I called all the Republican PCs that I know and said, Christy's having a problem. You guys get up there and help her. And they all called you and they all had your back. Even when Katie, if I could say names, she called me.
At this point, you might as well
and
call out
said,
everybody.
hey, can you get 10 Republicans and we need help? Absolutely. I called my friends, not the PCs, but I called other people, and they all said, let me know when and where. The day of, I got a call from her, and Chrissy said, those people can't come because you have to be a PC or whatever. There's not been one single time I haven't had your back. In fact, when you ran for village trustee, I asked you to run for village trustee,
you
did
did.
or not?
Yeah.
When your husband ran for township trustee, I asked you, Christy, I want him to run for village trustee. I want him to run for township supervisor. I supported him. I didn't say anything about the reset slate until you came out against me. That is when I said, you know what? If she's going to come out against me, I'm going to come out and support the reset. I actually had a conversation with Mike Bonomo and about him, and I said a name again.
Yeah,
I give up. At this point, I give up.
I think at this point, the only people's last names
I
that
supported
people
them.
aren't gonna know is ours.
I told people I supported them. I told Mike Bonomo I did. There was 2 people I didn't support, and we talked about this. You turned on me again. You even signed, you notarized those petitions for the village trustee race.
Oh, I had no idea that there was going to be 14 people on
you
that.
signed.
Nobody told me anything. They asked me if I was a notary.
Careful what
and
you
I
say,
came
though,
there.
because
I came
you
there.
signed their
I
petitions.
did, because I came there, and that's when I found out everything that was going on.
Right,
And
okay.
I was like, it is
But
what
wait,
it is.
for the village race. I came to you and I said, tell me who you want to run for village trustee, and I will support them. Did I or not?
You
And you
did.
gave me the 2 names, and they both backed out, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I had to go find new people, and I ran all these names through you. You got on your computer and said, oh, Republican, Democrat. You told me who they were. And then your people backed out. So I had, 2 days to find a trustee to run, because I never heard of anyone else running. I heard of one, which we agreed wasn't a good candidate to run. But then I saw
Really?
no. No.
Like, you're
Then-
getting people confused now.
Then I saw the petitions, and your name was on all of them, not just the notary, but you actually signed them. So you're telling me when you signed a petition, you didn't know what those people were running for?
Well, I did.
Okay, so you knew, and you had to know before those people backed out, because the date you notarized them were weeks before. So you can't sit here and tell me you didn't know what was going on when you played dumb to me. That's how I knew you were lying to me the whole time. Okay? And I'm not mad at you for it.
And I didn't
get
know
it.
until the
I'm
end.
not mad at you for it. It's fine. I get it. I got played again. I'm the dumb one that fell for it again.
I got played.
By
It
who?
seems like everybody got played by somebody.
By
the Democrats.
who? I reached out to you for what's that?
All the
We're gonna-
messages,
we can
all
go
the
through-
messages from
Chris,
when
if-
with the
can
PCs.
you get me Wi-Fi? Give me Wi-Fi. I'll
got
show
Wi-Fi.
you. Oh, Chrissy, if you read all those, I guarantee there's
You
some
unplug your phone?
missing messages.
And-
oh yeah, here. What are you, I'm sorry.
And if
Go
we're
ahead.
gonna
What are you
talk
do?
about anything that
No way. Oh, what? Her password. Oh my.
There's a bunch of I can't say it.
Yeah.
I can't say it.
Same number for
The
sure.
mayor of Homer. The mayor
the
has
most
that password.
the most unsecured phone in the city or in the village.
Sorry,
but
guys,
it
sorry.
sounds like it sounds like you guys both want what's good for not only the village, not only the township, but and not only for the Will County, obviously
people.
for the people, right?
Yeah.
And it seems like I said, from my perspective, it seems like the social media really is what is dividing you guys more than anything, because he said, she said, he said, she
But
said.
don't go on it.
But what I'm saying is, we should
hard to
probably.
miss.
it
I have
simple.
told people, don't send me shit. I don't want to see it.
Trust me, I said
And
the
it's
same thing.
every single
day.
day. Every single day.
Especially when it's about you. I get it.
It's every day.
Every day,
You
10
know-
times. They make dolls of me. I've got dolls of me out there. I've got memes out of
I
me.
have
Well,
a
the
picture
new
saying-
thing where they're making the package, the dolls in the package.
I
I seen that one of you. That was
I got
funny.
nice
Oh.
legs in it. I'm a little mad they didn't give me red bottoms, but I got nice legs. You know, they got the wrong
My boss
cigarettes,
sent me
but-
Polish uncle. I used to do it in
Dude,
a
the funniest. I don't know if
white
this is
beater with
appropriate or
a
not.
Żywiec.
I don't know if this is appropriate or not, but there was bro. Maybe I'm not gonna say it because then people are gonna get pissed.
Okay.
But these dolls, these memes are freaking everywhere. The what is it?
They're AI generated, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The blank parent.
Oh,
Oh shit, that one was funny. Okay, maybe you guys know
It's
what I'm talking
stupid.
about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's stupid. Then you
I
got
literally don't go on
then you
Facebook.
got shit like this.
Yeah, yeah. You showed me this
That's
before.
1,000 years old.
But yeah,
It's
but
brand new.
Oh,
I mean,
that's old.
You don't. I have kids.
That's old.
Like,
Wow.
Chrissy, I've got kids, and people are out there saying I'm a murderer, I'm a drug addict, I'm all these things.
Brian, get a job, bro.
My kids are on there.
literally. Now, is
Come
he?
on.
He says I'm obsessed with him. I don't. I've posted twice about this weirdo. That's
You guys should just make-
obsessed.
Who is that guy?
I don't know. I seen him all over the
Is he
Homer.
just a regular character? Just a side character?
I hear he's
all
your
this?
media guy.
Again, another lie.
Right?
All right,
that's
cool.
what I hear.
Yeah, but
Even
she doesn't believe
You don't believe that.
Well, he is in media, and
well, he is in
He's-
media. We know
What
that
kind
for
of
sure.
media?
But
Because
he's
it
a-
must be terrible.
But he keeps. All right, this guy in
What
particular.
media did I have? Can I ask? If he's my
Well, I
media
don't
guy,
know.
what did I have? What did I
all
use
your
him for?
social media, all
Yeah.
this stuff.
This guy,
What,
whoever this
what
guy is,
stuff? I don't do anything. That's
just-
the funny thing.
he just keeps sharing the same shit. So whatever, bro, and make some punk ass memes.
I know.
Whatever. I mean, it's dude. Just get off the internet, man.
Right?
Go do something with your
How
life. Go
is his
fucking for a
wife
walk.
okay
Touch grass.
with
Go
this?
touch
It's weird.
I'll be honest. I don't see what he does. I don't go on
It's
Facebook.
weird.
I don't read these things. The only time I see anything is when people screenshot it and send it to me. It's the same garbage. It's the stupid, corrupt Homer Glen
do you
or
not
Christina's
think
this or Christina's that. I don't care what
If
these
your big
people
friend
say.
Susie, your big buddy Susie, if she, don't you think if she would have shut this stuff down, maybe the other side would stop too?
I don't know if she runs that page
She
again.
does. I mean,
Okay.
she was
Well,
caught.
let's say she does.
She was
let's
caught.
say she does.
She narked
Did
herself
you get
out.
rewind
She's
on
an
that?
idiot, and
Oh,
she
you did?
narked herself out. So
Okay.
it was her.
So now we know on live video that who's this? person?
Well, I'm not. Don't say the
Allegedly.
last name.
Allegedly.
Because I
Allegedly.
don't necessarily believe that. Because
She did, and she knew she was caught, so she shut it down.
Shut down what?
The whole
how do you
page.
know
What
that?
page?
That
Again,
Homer
are you
Township hate page.
are you assuming
and
that,
created
though?
another one to get rid of everything, which we already have
Wait,
archived.
which
so.
one? Homer.
Homer Township hate page. It
Oh, there's a
has
hate page?
cats on it. I don't
No,
know.
it's called Homer Township.
Yeah.
Isn't it just called Homer Township?
No, I'm gonna look it up myself.
Apparently not anymore because it's not there anymore.
Man, if somebody kicked me off that group, I'd be pissed.
Come on, I know.
Well,
I
no.
sent her.
Because I liked that group because it was funny. I was trolling people left and right. Let's see. It's Homer Glen, Homer.
Township.
Homer Township.
Oh, it's Homer Township. Township Republican Organization. Homer Township Uncensored. No, I guess
It's
I'm not in that one.
gone.
Damn.
It's gone. She took it down. She got scared.
The whole page is gone.
Whole page is gone.
Damn. Well, whatever.
And they
Regardless.
created another weirdo page. So it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. They're
If you're
just
gonna make a page,
Well, it
don't make a
needs
fake
to.
account. Be a man
Or woman.
or a woman.
Pick one. Don't pick both. You can't be both.
You're right. You can't.
Can't
well,
be both. Well,
there's hermaphrodites.
yes, that's
yeah.
what you're talking
We
about. That's
talked
what I was
about
trying to
that
get to
before.
that point.
Yeah.
But that's how, dude.
It's
How?
probably got to be a percentage of a percentage.
It's
yeah.
actually a bigger percentage than you realize. But at a young age, the parents realize, like, does my kid like pink? Does my kid like Barbies? And
Yeah.
then they transition them that way, which
I
unfortunately
guess
that happens.
that
I
would
mean,
make more sense. I still don't agree with it, but it's for their future maybe it kind of makes sense, right?
yeah.
Kind of makes sense.
Can-
Listen,
Can I ask you a question real fast?
Yeah, sure.
About Seavers, because isn't she your friend?
Yeah, I went to high school with her.
Okay, so you guys are friends?
Yeah.
Are you okay with her threatening a county board member?
Okay, I don't. Again,
we
I
get
don't
some-
No
know.
idea
I
what
have
she
no
said.
idea
So
what she said.
She said she sent Katie, the county board member, a text the day after she won saying, if you know what's good for you, you'll stay away from Ballage.
Yeah, I don't. Well, that's not really a threat. I mean,
It's a threat. If you know what's good for I mean,
come on.
whatever. Like, what are you going to do? She's
it's not
going
like
to
she's
mess.
like, I'm going to kill you. You know, I mean,
No,
she's
it's,
just
it's
like,
a threat. She's going to mess with her
Well, they
campaign.
went to high school
I don't
together,
give
too.
a shit.
don't
She's
think
a
that's what she-
Republican.
Okay.
She's a Republican
Okay.
sitting county board member, and your friend is supposedly a Republican threatening a very good Republican county board member. That
Yeah.
if she
So-
associates with somebody,
Okay, hold on. So when she said, if you know what's good for you, you distance yourself from Ballage. To me, if I don't know their relationship, to her to have Katie's
don't have
phone
a
number,
relationship at all.
To have her phone number.
no, it was through Facebook.
Oh, okay. Well, then through Facebook.
fucking social media.
But to me, I would see that because you're taking it as like a violent.
I'm not taking it as violent. I'm taking that as
said as
she's
a threat.
It is
yeah,
a
but
threat to get her out of office.
No. Okay, that's your perception, right?
Right.
That's where your mind goes. My mind goes to She's just trying to say, if you're with
No,
ballot,
she's not. She's a piece of shit too. So
All right, you wanted my opinion. You
Yeah,
asked
but,
me a
yeah.
question. So my answer is, my mind goes to, she's saying, hey, distance yourself from Balich because his name is tainted. And be honest with
No,
you.
you're thinking the opposite side.
Yeah,
I
I'm
get
thinking
it.
the opposite because, to be honest with you, that is what everyone constantly says. Anyone associated with Balich is going to lose. And if you look at the last couple elections, that's what happened. And you guys asked me about Balich. I got something to say about him. It's not that I hate the man, okay? And I've told you this. When me and him fell apart, it really bothered me. It affected me because we were so close for so long. But what came down to it is when he started to attack my family, and you knew it, I showed you the proof. He paid people to attack my family and stand out in front of my village hall and demand my resignation and demand my husband's resignation. And you agreed that was uncalled for, and you were pretty pissed about it yourself, right?
Yeah.
I met the guy, I can never say his name right. Cornell? Is that how you say it?
yeah.
I met him at a fundraiser, and he came up to me, and he actually apologized to me. Gave me his phone number and said, if you ever need anything, call me. And then his
You need
wife...
to protest.
I need you to protest him. No. But that's where, I have the right to be pissed at someone for doing that to me. I can't just keep forgiving over and over and over. There's got to come a point, just like, with us, I forgave you a lot because, like, you'd call me and say, did you do this? I'm like, Chrissy, stop.
But you
And I
said
proved-
call me.
Yeah.
Call me.
Yeah,
I
but-
mean, if
But
I'm
call
not,
me is...
And we did. I did.
But calling me saying, hey, I heard this, and you got better, but, like, calling me and saying, like, hey, I heard this about you. That's a conversation, right? Yeah. Calling me saying, I heard you did this, and I heard you... It's not a conversation, right? No?
I don't remember ever calling you and talking like that to you, but okay.
Well, many a times. I can name a few, but I don't want to go back down that path. What I'm basically saying is, Balich, I actually feel bad that he kind of lost, but I could see why. I can understand why.
Yeah. I don't know too much about Balich. I talked to him like twice, and it wasn't anywhere around here. It was in Will County when I was pissed off with the fucking flag flying over that Will County. God damn it.
I don't know.
Which flag?
I lost you on that one.
Yeah. Well, there's isn't the
There's a pride flag, right?
yes.
Over
Isn't the
county?
state supposed to fly the state flag, the
Yeah,
county flag,
And the American flag.
the American flag, maybe a POW flag, not the pride flag? You know what I mean? Like, dude, like,
It's messed up. I think that's messed up.
not. Listen,
Do they fly the other flags?
They were, right?
they replaced one flag with a pride flag, right?
They replaced what flag?
I don't remember which one. I wish I remember, but I was.
Well, so like at the village, we fly the American flag, of course, that stays on top, and then we have the village flag underneath.
Yeah, and that's about all the flags you need.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think any other
We have the
flags
county
are-
flag.
We don't need no fucking pride flags hanging off the White House.
Like for
Flags are
Memorial
not-
Day, maybe you add the POW flag.
Yeah,
right,
but
or
I'm
something
talking.
like
I'm
that.
talking like actual American flags associated with
America.
America,
Right.
not associated with.
And it shouldn't
Whatever
be
the
any other flags.
It shouldn't be any other
because
flag.
Not associated with
it's
a thought.
slippery slope. I mean,
Well, that's the thing. What are we flying
Yeah,
next?
you
Right.
let one go
Yeah.
through.
Yep.
What are we
It's-
flying
I
next?
want the Polish flag
right,
up there.
Right,
Yeah, right next to-
right.
right.
It makes people
It-
feel
it's-
bad.
it's
You know,
technically-
Balich
it's
had
not,
the Italian flag flying for a while
yeah,
at the township.
I don't. I think it's a slippery slope.
I think it
Yeah.
should be
If you
American
have-
American flags only.
American
Okay,
flags,
You
yeah.
can-
just like
I
prayer.
don't agree. Listen, I don't agree everything Balich
I know.
does. Just to be clear, I don't like. I'm not a follower. I'm not anything he does is right. I think he is a very good man. He has a big, huge heart, and he would do anything for anyone. If you called him tomorrow and you said, "I need your help, Steve," he would be the first one right there for you.
Not me.
Yes,
No,
I
I
do
don't
think that he
Right
is
after he got done protesting me,
he's
right?
a good you have your stuff, but he has never ever done me wrong.
Yeah,
He's
and you
always-
have the right to feel that way.
Right.
Just like these two never done anything to me. I'm not
But
going to
he
be
does
mad at them.
everything he does. I don't agree with. So let's
Yeah.
that's,
I don't agree
gonna-
with everything my husband does.
Right.
I mean,
I was gonna mention. I'm like, I feel like not all, but some of these problems stem from things being taken out of context.
100%. I mean, that's one thing. Like I said, social media, fucking sharing this and that, and you guys, you are 100% right
why I
on
hate
what
texting.
they're trying to do in terms of the Democrats. That is, they will smell the blood in the water.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
will attack whichever side's deemed more weaker, so they can
Yep.
get them out first.
well,
right?
that's what
Get
they
rid of them
did.
first.
They
And then
They got-
go after the big fish, right?
Yeah.
I just seen somebody sent this to me. I don't remember who sent this to me. A video of, I don't know what's she called, the the fearless journalist, fucking some Democrat, and
A Democrat sent it to you?
no, somebody sent it to me, but it was about a Democrat. A Democrat saying that the Democrats are now in Homer Glen, and now they're gonna start.
Oh, yes.
They're gonna start putting things together to take Homer Glen over
Yes.
from the Republicans. And I'm like, hey, I fucking know.
It
Not in
wasn't
this-
I don't
Democrat.
believe that.
It
Unless they
wasn't.
start
It
carrying
was
guns.
I don't believe it.
I seen it. I don't know.
You
who
never
sent
saw
it
the
to-
video, or you
I-
don't
I
believe that they're going to
either-
come in.
either
okay.
way, either
so
way.
it was a TikToker that said we won the Homer went blue and was bragging about Homer going blue because
After this
of the
election.
reset.
Because the reset, yeah, because the Democrats supported
I
the
mean-
reset, which was probably based off the fact that the Democrat organization through the
Endorsed them and
was
was supporting them.
Yeah,
I mean,
so I don't agree. Why
they took
I would
that
have.
endorsement.
I
and
would have been if
that
I-
gave them power.
Yeah,
like by
well-
them taking that.
by talking about it is giving them power. That like when they did that, it meant shit to me. It did not mean anything to me because
I
you know
mean-
what? If the more you pay attention to it,
That's true.
Just like you pay attention, you're giving them the power by talking about it and thinking that they got
I
the
would have
power.
never. I would have
When I
denounced
saw-
it. I would
Yeah,
have
but they-
said,
I saw that
no
on
way, I
Facebook.
don't
Yeah,
want
but
it.
even-
I don't want it.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
bad,
but they would have done it on purpose.
bad publicity
And
is
this
still
is what- and this-
publicity.
Yeah.
And this is what they did. They did it
Yeah.
on purpose, right?
I'd
And then
have to
you
agree
seen
with you
it,
on that one.
and you got pissed that they did it,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when maybe you thought in your head was the Democrats supporting those Republicans, and I thought the same shit when I seen it. I was like,
I was.
No, they did
These
support
mother-
the
They
reset.
did
Yeah,
support. I
they did.
sat outside the primary and I had a man literally run at me like he was going to tackle me when I said I was the Republican chair. Like he argued. I
up.
went to give him my card. He was screaming and yelling at me. Went in.
How old is
I
this
must,
man?
Oh, older, like 50, 60.
I got my
Bonomo was
thoughts on
there.
that.
Bonomo saw it. Like, it was the most bizarre experience I've ever had. I was standing outside a poll as the Republican chairman, letting people know, here is my card. In the next election, it's consolidated. You're not going to know who is Republican or Democrat as far as the school boards. That's a big deal. And people were literally like,
yeah. I mean, listen,
yelling at me. We're here to get MAGA out and blah blah blah, and that's what it is. It's
luck.
people that
Yeah, but
you
it's
know.
been around forever.
Where's my
Yeah.
hat?
I mean, when I ran 2003, I think it was, I had the same thing. I ran as a Republican township trustee. I had the same exact thing. I mean, that's been going on forever.
Yeah.
But you
But
fighting
this
with
was
me,
a primary.
that was a primary for me too.
Well, this was a Republican primary.
Yeah, I didn't have
that-
Democrats running
that
against me in a primary.
That Democrats actually crossed over to vote in. They crossed over in your
Mm-hmm.
PC races to vote for certain PCs, and
Which
they,
didn't make a difference.
but it did. And then they
And how do you know?
and then they crossed over because I can see the data. They and then
So
they
did I. I didn't-
and then they crossed over for this last primary. So now we have hard Democrats that have voted Republican twice. Do you realize?
Wait, so
I
if
got
they-
something to say on that.
Do
Go
you
ahead.
realize if they vote in one more Republican primary, they could actually be on the Illinois GOP?
Well, that means they voted for Trump then, didn't it? Doesn't it?
not
No.
necessarily.
No, not
No,
necessarily.
what you're saying the last three races.
It
No,
was
last
for
two.
the PC one. Not it was.
PCs ran when Trump ran.
It was his primary.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily mean they voted for Trump.
That's the problem. They didn't pull a Democrat ballot. Do you think someone's going to pull a Democrat?
Right, but
Someone's going
they-
to pull a primary ballot for Republican to vote for a PC and not a president? Come on, Chrissy, stop it. I'm gonna tell you something. You keep bringing up, oh, these Democrats crossed over. Okay,
They did.
we got to stop. One of the main problems is we got to stop blaming others for their actions. Right? When you're a leader, you go, why didn't my Republicans come out?
I
and vote?
agree. 100%.
Where did we fail
100%. 100%. But listen,
but-
I didn't knock doors for even my husband. I didn't knock doors. I let them do their own campaign. I tried very hard to stay out of it. And I told my husband, I don't want you running because you're going to put me in the middle of it. As soon as the attacks start, I'm just going to get
It's your husband.
That's my husband.
Yeah, my husband got
You
attacked
know,
too. and
like,
he didn't even run.
That's where I even told you that. Like, I did not want him to run. You knew
yeah,
that.
no, I
Like,
know. I know.
You know,
we
but
talked about it.
I didn't want that divide. I didn't want it. But
Exactly, we didn't.
No.
And that's why I said once I saw what happened with the petitions, I couldn't trust you. I knew right then and there again.
Okay.
For the third time.
So-
I got played.
I was told that
Again, told.
again, but these are things that you've said about other people, and we've talked about that you've said these things to. It's not just me.
I will admit if I said something about someone, I have no problem with it. I'd have no fear about it. I have nothing to hide.
I was not. I looked at us as not friends after I heard what you said about
What? Tell me.
my
Come on.
husband and my kids, and
Never
some
said-
weird story
Chrissy,
about
when you're-
I went out of town and my kids had a party. And
I have no
called
idea
you
what
and
you're
Dan
talking
to
about.
get my kids out of trouble. This is what was told to me, and
Again,
then just the
a lie.
whole, and then
I'm going to
just the
swear
whole.
on my life, my kid's life. I don't even know what you're talking about.
So
Never heard that. You
And-
mentioned that once before. I'm like, what the hell are you talking
and
about?
saying like, oh, are you, is Chrissy and Mike okay? Is their relationship okay? And you've done that to other people, and
That's not true.
that story's been
That is not
Okay.
so
true.
okay. So that is why
Hey.
I was like, I'm out.
All right.
Well,
so
whatever you
I
guys
just wanna say
need.
something.
So yeah,
If I did, which I don't recall ever asking how your relationship was, and if I did, your mind went to a negative place. If I asked how your relationship is, because I care. I want to make sure you're okay. We were friends. Why would I? What reason would I call to say, is their relationship okay? What do you think? I want to get in there? What do you think? I want to sleep with their husband?
No.
Do you think I want to
you
get in there
did
so
that
he
to
didn't want to run?
Rosie to trigger Rosie.
That is
and
not
I
true.
felt
And
like
you know
maybe,
that's not true. Rosie
don't-
admitted that's not true.
I don't know. Rosie said a lot of things. She
Well,
she also
she openly admitted that was not true. Openly. Again.
I did not hear that.
Oh, yeah. Well,
listen, it seems
well,
like
Rosie's the least truthful person I've ever met.
it seems that way.
She
I
definitely.
don't
mean,
think so. I disagree.
Oh well,
I-
I ran with her and she
I-
didn't. We sat down. Anybody got any dirt? Let us know. Let's get
Yeah,
it
that's
all
what
out
we
there.
heard about you guys, about us.
As far as what?
When you guys were running your PCs, you had people in the room and you said, especially about Don Melody, what's the dirt on him? What's
No,
the
what-
dirt on this person?
No, I said to when it was me, Ruben, and Jay running with
Oh,
Rosie.
yeah.
We said, anybody got any dirt? Let's get it out now because
on
they're gonna find it.
themselves.
Yes.
Oh, gotcha.
And she didn't tell me all the shit that came out.
don't know Rosie, so I'm not gonna.
Yeah, she's
I'm
not.
not
You're
gonna-
not missing much.
I mean, I'm not gonna.
I think
Fuck
she's
her.
a great person. I don't know. She's
Before
to
you
me,
start
she's a good
talking-
She's a
person.
turncoat. She turned on
turncoat
her
on what,
own
though?
cousin. Her own cousin. My husband. My husband hung every single one of her signs for her. Every single one of them. Those were all our posts. He did all that for her. She didn't do anything for our election. Nothing. She didn't walk one house. She didn't do anything. And to do that to my husband, to come out for the
Okay,
reason.
well, then I have the
my-
same reason to be mad at Steve. Just as much
Yeah,
as you're
I
mad
get
at
it.
Rose, and I
Oh,
have
yeah.
the same reason.
I get it.
Well, Marcin, what were you gonna say before?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I've been holding on to this question for like 40 minutes.
Sorry.
It was
We're
about
two women. Come on.
Yeah,
You guys might as well leave the room.
for
No, I'm
real.
just kidding.
I should have just clicked record, walked out.
We'll
had
go have a beer real quick,
had a
and then
couple
we'll come
beers,
back.
and
Yeah,
then,
we'll come back. Yeah, you guys will work it out.
Yeah, either they'll be blood up and cut up, or
they'll
bloody
be,
and cut
they'll
up.
be
or-
hugging.
We'll leave a bottle of wine here, and then
Oh yeah, we
No.
got some.
my question was, because I know we were talking about the next mayoral
race,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is there just because I'm curious, is there like primaries, kind of like
No.
so anybody can go and you can be put on a ballot. Like I can,
And
I don't
again-
I don't live here, but I can just go and be like, hey, I want to be on a ballot.
Yep.
Wait a minute, this
And
lady.
you won't know if they're Republican or Democrat.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
I mean,
You
I'll
do, 'cause
know.
they tell you.
well,
right?
do they
Well,
run? So they don't run as Republican.
You won't see it on the
It's
ballot.
it's a nonpartisan
Ah,
race.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same as
Every
school
mayor
board.
that runs says, I'm a Republican. Like my town or Homer Glen knows I'm a Republican. The Democrats know I'm a Republican. I don't hide. I'm who I am. I'm not that type of person that, not now, I used to, don't now, yell at Democrats and say, you're an idiot, you're an ass, you're this. Because why wouldn't you guys keep saying bring the community together. When I finally said I wanted to be a mayor, I wanted to bring the community together. I live 20 feet from my neighbor. Donald Trump, I don't even know if he has neighbors. I live next to neighbors all around me. I want to be cordial. My neighbor, she's a diehard liberal. We both have special needs kids. I connected with her over that relationship. I'm not going to not talk to her. She lives in my backyard. We have our kids go to the same program. I can't not have a conversation with her. And in fact, when I talked to her, we started finding things we had in common and stopped looking at the things we had that weren't in common.
Well, that's the biggest thing about
There's
current
also-
politic divide is everybody looks at the The opposite.
Yeah, I was gonna say everybody goes the worst case, and then they also, both on the right and the left, everybody has their thing, and it's like, oh, you don't agree? I don't want to associate myself.
Oh
with
yeah,
you.
yeah,
Right.
100%.
Not everybody, obviously, but like there's some people that do, right? That they're like this, and they won't
That's
talk
it.
to you.
Yeah.
And
Well,
they-
that's
they-
like I said. That's on both sides, right?
Yeah.
We just talked about this
100%.
earlier.
Yeah, right.
Some people
You-
just have some things that they just will not let go. Like I said, boys and girls sports. I'm just not gonna let it go.
I'm not
Nope.
letting it go either. But
Yeah.
my Democrat friends,
take point out of school.
they'll say, no, I want him in there. Okay, but I don't agree with you. Doesn't mean we have to fist fight about
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
but
100%. Well, listen. At the end of the day, who really decides that is the people, right?
yeah.
And I say get out and vote.
Well, that's the thing. So maybe that's
you
why.
know?
So that's why we're here, right? I think.
Well, you guys
I
are
think
like
you guys can actually work
4
together
weeks too late.
going forward. I really think you guys can, especially since you guys are both running on the same kind of. Let's put the social media shit aside.
Yeah, they're both
I
right.
don't look at it.
the
I don't
same
care about
train
it.
of thought.
Yeah, exactly. You guys have the same train of thought going forward. Like first of all, we need people to come out and vote in Homer Glen. You know that if the Democrats, like we said, smell the blood in the water, they're gonna motivate the base. Like, go to Homer Glen. I mean, if you're in Homer Glen, go vote because there's a chance, right? Don't even give them that chance. We just need to get our people to come out and go vote, right? Certain things we can maybe not even negotiate on, but the one side can bring out what they want, or the other side can bring out what they want, and then run on that, right?
Are you talking about the Republicans? Because there's two sets of Republicans going
Well,
on
that's what
here.
it seems like, and I don't think that's necessary. I think there just needs to be one.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, but yes, but at the same time, then there's always going to be a second group,
Yeah.
and which will if
I don't
you
believe
do
that.
So
I don't
maybe-
agree with that.
You know what
So
it
then
is?
maybe what you
It's
guys
a
should agree-
power struggle.
Well, so maybe what you guys should agree
Is
on is
what
that the
it
next
is.
election happens, which
But
is
who's struggling?
mayors.
Who's the one that wants the power?
Not me, because I could give to whatever. I really don't
But I'm
care
not-
about power. I
Yeah.
truly think you want all the power. You
Yeah,
did it
see,
with
again,
the
thinking
township.
again.
You
Stop
did.
thinking.
I do,
Stop
but that's
thinking.
what I think.
Yeah,
I really
it's-
do.
That's a
I
shame.
don't care.
That's honestly a shame because I
I'm-
really think you could be
I don't-
a good leader and a good person and have your heart in it, but you get so caught up on your weird thoughts, and I don't mean
you
that in a
have
weird way, but
taken over the
you keep-
township.
Thank you, but I haven't. I just had this conversation with Senator Kern. I said, you keep saying like,
You're involved. You're
okay,
involved.
thank
You're
well,
involved.
Thank you for thinking that highly of me.
Okay,
but
so
that's
you
not
had
the truth.
nothing to do with any of these races.
Okay, let's start with the
PC.
the township one.
Let's start
okay,
with PC. You had nothing to do with those.
So how many
races.
people ran that were on the side? 11, right?
Yes.
Okay. I met 4 of them the day of the election night, right? I told you the only 2 that I talked
And you
to.
didn't have one single hand in any. I mean, you were hosting these events. I'm not. Let's not.
What do you want me to do? Sign a damn affidavit? What do you want me to do? What would make Chrissy MC believe?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't. You're right. It doesn't matter. But
it
you're
Good thing you guys.
asking me.
Good thing you guys signed that paper I gave you guys.
You're asking, and I don't. No offense, but I don't have to convince you. I don't care to convince you. The thing that I'm just saying is, we're in 2 different games. You're a Republican leader, and I'm a nonpartisan mayor.
But I feel like you're
you're
toying with the Republicans. Like you have a handle on that, and you won't let it go.
How? What you? I think it's kind of cute that you think that I'm this big mastermind and that I have all this skill. Because if I did, I wouldn't waste it on politics. I'd probably go run a business and do that. But you're talking about politics. Like, you think I could pull 4 people that I've never met them on election night, and got them to win? Think about that, Chris. That sounds ridiculous. You're smiling and nodding, but you really think that's what
you did.
happened?
Yeah, I do. I think that you got your whole slate that I ran against. You got that whole slate through. They did nothing. They did
No,
nothing.
that's not true. Kurt and Sue knocked every door.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, were you there?
Well, I don't.
I mean,
know.
I was in the car.
I don't know
with
anybody
them.
that saw any of them, or you guys didn't debate. That's the other thing. Like there was
Oh.
no debates. I think that needs to happen.
Oh, we can make that happen.
I want the debates to happen.
Didn't I ask you to come here?
No, you. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
I
like,
mean, I'm up for debate all the time.
but the
it's not even a debate; it's a conversation.
Gonna
That's
be
what
on
it
that
is.
side of the. Gonna be on that side of the garage.
Yeah, no, I
but
think
there
with
needs to be more debates. Like you got somebody in that did nothing and missed 50% of his.
And I
his
asked for his
meetings.
resignation
I could
3
have been in that
times.
seat.
Yeah, you could have.
I thought I was the next one in line. I could have been in that seat.
Yeah.
And I would have been there at every meeting.
Yeah,
Who's this person?
Craig.
Right, you don't even know because he's never there.
That's true. But I did. I look
So
at.
wait, but is he still on board?
No, he gave his resignation. I asked for it, and he gave it.
Finally, you said 3 times.
3 times I asked him for it.
Yeah.
The last time I just said, if you don't give me the resignation, I'm going to ask for it again publicly. And he agreed. He said, I will give it. But in his defense, he got a job promotion, travels a lot, and you know this, you can't deny this, he fights childhood trafficking.
I don't know that personally. I mean, I don't
on.
know him. I don't know anything
All right.
about him.
I'll give you that.
Well, that's a good cause.
Yeah, but I mean, he
That's a big
does.
problem
And
in
I can
America.
prove that. I mean, can't prove it now, but I can prove it.
But listen,
Seems like we need to agree to
Oh, but
disagree.
you said the PC
no,
thing.
everything's in agreement here because at the end of the day, we're all running for the same
Well,
thing.
Can I ask a question? Who cares if I had people run? What
I don't care.
Why? But you're saying that I
know.
want this power, but why
because I
can't?
do. I think
What's the
you-
difference if you're putting
So
up
is-
10 people and I am? Why is it okay for you and not me?
No, I'm not putting up anybody. I
Okay,
didn't
but
put.
I'm supposed
I
to
didn't
believe
put
that
up-
you're not.
I didn't.
But you're saying I am.
I didn't. I had nothing to do. I didn't knock one door. I didn't donate any money. I didn't organize anything for that PC race. I let the chips fall where they may.
And we talked about that.
Right.
Right. We had a
I
conversation.
had nothing. I didn't
met
have meetings at my house. You did.
Now hold on. Now you said
I
okay.
didn't.
You said I had a meeting in my house. Well, you know your friend Bobby was there,
Yeah.
right? Ask her what happened. Ask her what happened at my house. Where was I? Where was me? Where was my husband? Where was Kurt and Brock? Ask her. You know. Did she tell you? Did she tell you where
No.
we were?
She said you were there.
Where?
I don't know.
We
She
weren't
said-
in the house. We went outside. All of
Okay.
us stayed outside so they can have a conversation. The only reason why it was my house is because it's cold. Where else are we going to go? Where do you go in Homer that you can have a conversation?
I
You
mean,
can't even
there-
have a PC meeting.
There were a lot of people on that email chat. Those email chains.
I never got an email. Please show me an email. Please show me an email.
I got
Text.
it last. I got it last minute. So
Text. Okay, text.
Okay,
Email,
so-
no.
Okay.
And
so
yeah, there's a text thread going on.
I
Yeah,
don't-
they're my friends. I
all
can't
I'm
talk to
saying
them.
is I feel like you need the power, that you want the power.
Okay.
I'm hearing your husband is going to be running for county, and I feel like your little friend,
Stop
your
hearing
little
things.
weird friend Severs is
come
posting.
on. Why
oh,
you
you're
gotta
next
be
because
negative?
because she was negative to me
I'm not
first.
being rude about any of your friends.
Whatever.
I just
she
don't
is.
be rude.
She is a weirdo. She came on.
She's not weird.
She's threatening a county board member.
Well,
that
you're out
she's
there
gonna,
saying shit about me.
Okay.
And everybody else. I mean,
Okay.
you're right here talking about her, so she's not allowed to talk
Yeah,
about you?
No.
Come on.
Okay.
That's not. Let's keep it above the table. I mean, come on, Chrissy.
Okay.
You're a
So-
leader. You're a
okay.
leader. Be a
And
leader.
So are you, and you still.
And I'm not talking shit about people.
You talk shit about people all the time on social media.
Really?
I see how you treat people
Really?
on social media.
Really? Show me the social media.
Okay.
Well,
I can prove that I'm
and,
not.
And remember we had this conversation last time. You said that sometimes you read it one way and somebody else reads another way. We just had that. We talked about
because
that.
I was. I thought I was defending.
Okay.
him.
Ruben,
So
right?
your
Yeah. Well, I wasn't gonna.
your
yeah.
friend Severs
Said enough names already.
went on my social media and said
saw
that
that.
I suck at my job
saw
and
that.
that they're gonna replace me, whatever. And that
And
is
what did I
is-
do?
And
You
I
don't
didn't
know
see-
what I do,
No,
'cause
I don't.
we don't
know
talk
what you-
about it.
I don't know what you did.
Well, why don't you ask her what I did? Why don't you ask her the message I sent to her and all of them for that?
Okay.
Chastise her for it. I said that was wrong. You shouldn't do it. Apologize.
Okay, because the rumor is,
Yeah, there goes these
is
damn
you're
rumors.
you're coming in
Wherever
to
you're
the
getting
county.
this information from, you might want to cut them
Okay,
off.
and your
'cause they're the
husband
divide.
is
They're
going to
divide.
run for county board
Oh, he is?
against Steve.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing.
Who?
That's,
What
My husband is going to run for county board.
That's what I'm hearing.
is he?
Oh,
Okay.
you
so
think I'm
I
going to
don't-
let my husband get in the middle of this? Well, first of all,
How do
know,
I get? How do I get this position?
you just run.
No,
you
I'm good.
run.
I'm good for now. I got too many things going on. I got
Okay,
a farm to
but-
raise.
You messed
Okay.
up by even acknowledging it.
But again, if my husband did decide to run or whatever, what's the problem? Why is that a bad thing?
It's a bad thing because I'm not going there.
Okay, but you're just saying these rumors you're hearing, first of all, are not true. Just
Okay.
for clarification,
Okay.
they're not true.
Because that
But whoever
would
that
hurt
person
everybody
is,
else on the.
but why? Do you really think ballots should be running again for Will County when he's 76 years old?
No.
By the time he's done, he's going to be 80.
I think.
Come on, be real. Come on, be honest. You think he should? You didn't even want him to run for township, but you want him to
It's
run
not
for
that
county.
I didn't want. It's not my choice. I
I
can't
know.
tell anybody what they can and cannot do. I don't
neither can
have.
I.
I've talked to Steve about whether or not he's going to run. He wants to run.
Yeah. But you do you do see what's going on. He's not the best man for the job. Not saying my husband is because he's not running, but
And I
hey,
have no
you
control.
would
If
be a
somebody
better-
else wants to run, I don't have any control over that. I'm not
Right.
going. Like
Neither
I
do
said,
I.
I want to debate. I
Right.
want whoever is going to run against Steve debate
Is Steve going to be running against
because there will be a primary.
a primary Republican primary,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, so two Will County board members for the Republican Party would be up. Democrats can run to get those seats. So right now it's 10, 11? No. How many board members? It's even, and then they
It's
have the
even
executive.
right now, and
yeah.
the executive is the tiebreaker. So it's 11-11.
As far as
So-
Democrats and Republicans.
It's split.
So Steve Ballard is going to be running against another Republican,
Well,
right?
yeah.
But a
Well,
Democrat
in the
could come in
primary.
too.
Well,
It'll
it's
be
2 seats.
And
two
the-
seats.
Oh,
So
so 1 and 1?
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
So
No.
What?
it'll be 2 Democrats, 2 Republicans
No,
in
it-
the primary, possibly.
Well, it could be 5 Republicans
It could
and
be,
5
yeah,
Democrats.
but that it's just 2 seats for the.
Okay.
So 2 Democrats can win, a Democrat and a Republican win, 2
Right.
Republicans can win.
You
Right.
pick 2.
Right,
You
right,
pick 2.
right.
On the
Okay.
ballot, you pick 2.
So
So
Ballard is running as a Republican
Right.
against we don't know who.
No, but Jim Richmond's up again. So he would be running. He's already on the county board. So him
because
and
2
Steve-
seats, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are open to whoever. So a Republican or a Democrat can win.
Mm-hmm.
And so you guys are just kind of talking about like who's the best Republican to run
Well,
for.
it seems that
For
you
that
need to
position.
put your best card forward,
Right.
not your best friend.
What if it was
not
3
this
of them, huh?
person? You can't because they only 2 would win. But you got to
exactly.
put your best
Better odds.
person forward.
Wait
Just
a
like
minute, wait a minute. So right now,
Hey,
let's just
I'm all for that. If whoever wants to run, and let's debate. Let it
Let's clear
primary
this-
debate.
let's
You don't
clear
want
this real
someone
quick.
debating, Steve. Come
Hey,
on.
if Steve feels like he wants to be on the county board, then he should debate.
100%.
I don't care who it is. If there's a primary,
But
if you're
clearly
gonna,
you do. If
don't-
my name is
Well,
behind
no,
him, you do.
No, it's
I think
specific.
she's more
I'm not going there.
okay.
Okay, well,
I
you brought
just
it
don't
up.
think. Well, I just. Okay,
right.
I'm not.
it's right now.
I
It's
didn't bring it
right
up.
now. There's a primary that's going to happen for
Well,
Will
that's
County.
in 26. I mean,
Okay,
26.
Next
so it's
year.
going to be ballots versus possibly some other Republican and whoever wins.
Democrats.
But is it going to so
So the primary's first.
primaries first is what I'm talking about,
Right.
right? So the first primary is going to be basically Steve Ballard running against who? A Republican or a Democrat or just a Republican?
In the primary, he runs against Republicans.
Okay, so that Republican, right, then goes on to the next election, which is the
General.
general, which is Democrat versus Republican, right?
Yes, and
One or
you
the
pick
other.
two.
That's the one that has 2.
Yeah.
And it's the best 2.
And it's the best two.
So
So then it does.
So we want our 2 Republicans in.
Yeah.
Right.
there's the primaries. Out of the primaries, do you get 2 Republican candidates?
You can
You
have
can have
more.
as many
there could be
as
5.
want to run.
But if the primaries are like you're voting for,
that's the point of the
You can-
primary. It's to narrow it down to 2.
Oh, okay.
good.
Okay.
That's what
okay.
I'm asking. That's
yeah.
what I'm
That's
asking.
what. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
more
So it
sense.
could be 10.
Yeah. So
And
out of
just
10
pick
people,
two.
you got to pick 2 Republicans, and they're going to run. Those 2 are going to run against the other 2 of the opposite party.
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah. Okay.
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 That makes more sense. Steve Ballard, what he did for the last 20 years is probably good for the area, but it's probably time for him to go. No, not that I'm got against him, but it's just maybe bring somebody younger in, maybe somebody who maybe has a better understanding of the demographic. I'm sure he understands demographics. It's just that times change, and he is an older man. It's, he did the most that he could, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not advocating against or for him. You do what you want, but maybe, you did say his name is kind of stained, and the township he did lose the township, right? I mean, at the end of the day, right?
By
So
1,000 votes?
so maybe it's time to
880.
maybe it's time to hand off to the next person. You know what I mean?
I couldn't agree with you more. That's why I had.
But
a
that's what I
meeting
think
with
that you
or-
guys, I think you guys can actually work together, figure that out.
I tried.
Well,
the last 4
maybe you guys
elections.
should-
Force. I can't force
le-
anybody
I
to
get it.
not
Yeah,
run.
but you can
No, I
help
get you.
support somebody,
you can
right?
help, though.
You can throw support behind somebody, right?
Yeah, if think about it, MC, we talked about this. For the township race, we said if you and I put our names behind someone for township and we all agreed, there would be no loss. We'd save money, save time, save energy, and focus that money on
Those 2 people.
the next race,
or-
the Will County race or whatever. Annette Parker's running for again. It's coming up, right? Clerk, that's coming up. Sheriff's coming up. I mean, that's where you should be putting your money, not this local stuff.
No, I don't.
That's why our party should be
Believe
agreeing.
me, I didn't want anything to do with this.
Well, then
I
that's-
tried.
And I
Then we should-
actually
Very
believe
hard.
you on that, but again, you're the central chair. You have that voice to say, look, I'm not going to put my name behind you. I love you, Steve, but I'm not going to put my name behind you.
I do love Steve.
You guys should.
And whatever
But you're not like
conversation
it's not like you're betraying Steve
No.
by
I am loyal to Steve,
Yeah.
and that's why I supported him in this last race. And my husband
But
was
Steve needs to
running
get.
with
I
him.
think Steve needs to get the point that
That's
it's
good.
time to
You
move on.
That was
Yeah, you should. That's
I
what
think
you
Steve
should
needs
do.
to understand
But-
that it might be time for change, and that's it.
Well,
And
loyalty is
maybe
one thing.
It's better maybe if he picks somebody, or at least he throws his support behind somebody. But then again, his name
His
is
name.
stained, right?
That's why if he
He's
just
a good. I'm sure he's a good dude.
Oh,
I
bowed
talked to him.
out gracefully, and you and the other PCs can figure your shit out and get along, you guys can put someone up and they would never lose. That's the point. You guys got to stick together. And that's what is in all those text messages. If you read them all, you'd see that's what I said. And I have that, and I'll prove it to you.
I can't make you guys agree, and I can't make you guys work together. But
was
I
gonna
think you guys can probably figure something out together.
I was gonna say loyalty is one thing, but
I think the overall good is more
Yes.
important than
There's
you
a
know,
loyalty to your party, too, though.
Yeah, 100%.
So-
100%.
I mean, I had my best friend wanted to run with me, and I was like, ugh, I can't have you run. No, and it wasn't Susie. But Susie did say she wanted to run for school board, and I told her, I said, I think that's not the best place for you. I mean,
No.
I'm not going to say you're an idiot, not that she is, but I'm not going to tell someone I'm not going to insult.
But at the end of the day,
somebody.
it's not up to you guys to decide that. It's
No,
up to
no,
the,
but people
it's up
will
to
ask
the,
you.
the people. It's up to the people that live in the area to decide that, right?
Right.
But the problem right now, like I said, I think the biggest problem we currently have, which you both should work on, is getting turnout. I think that's something that
100%.
that's
But
what
in my
And-
election, I got 500 new voters, and it was the biggest turnout we had. I got 4,000. Mostly we had 6,000 voters. It was the highest turnout. We had 33% turnout.
we should probably have.
I had a
What's
33% turnout for our race. We had a 33% turnout.
That's
yeah,
pretty
that
low.
was hot.
That's
pretty
not low. That's the highest. I mean, it's
Yeah,
usually
maybe
But
for-
yes,
but-
it is high.
It is high.
but
Yeah.
it's low.
But it's
More
low.
people should be coming
Yes,
out.
100%.
And they
We should
just,
have
Well, the
at
township,
a minimum 50%.
you know,
the township race though,
here's-
it was low because if you look at the numbers, a lot of seniors didn't vote because there was no early voting. So that you wiped out half the
but
seniors.
this last one there
okay,
was.
so
No,
that,
well, for
I'm
the
going to
general,
address
but
the.
not the
Yeah.
primary. Yeah.
I would like to address that whole situation because I know that I
had
was
nothing to do with
blamed
Annette
or-
Parker?
Annette was
Yep.
Annette did not have anything to do with that.
I
and
know,
she
I
got
stuck
a
up
lot
for her.
of grief for that. That was pre-done by Pelkey, and that election cost the clerk's office a lot of money. I mean, they're almost through their budget with because of that election. That really hurt the clerk's office. And I think Annette got thrown into this, and she did a great job. She did the best she could.
I agree.
And I don't think we should have, in my opinion, I don't think we should have had as many voting places in the consolidated. The turnout was so low. It was such a waste of money. The amount of money that it cost to do vote by mail ballot boxes, for one, don't even get me started on the vote by mail, which is something that everybody needs to focus on. This is a big problem. And, I spent 40 days in the basement and I saw what was going on there. There's a lot of shady stuff going on. There are 14,000 zombie voters on the voter rolls. Whatever. That's a problem that needs to be addressed. But
As in people that aren't alive anymore?
yeah,
That
yeah,
voted?
yeah, yes,
14,000?
yes, 14,000.
In Will County?
That can change county races. Yes, in Will County, and that's coming from DC. People that are actually doing the research for these counties.
Well,
That's
there's a
what
lot
they
of dead
came
people on
up with.
Social Security, so it makes sense.
Yeah. So, I mean, I personally was just talking to somebody on the phone, but real fast. Annette did a great job. She did the best she could. She actually has had a lot thrown at her in a very short time. Just like me, when I became chairman, I had nothing. Like everybody wants to say I suck at my job and I didn't do good. I came into this, I didn't have any contacts. I didn't have any minutes. I didn't have any money. I had to fight and get an attorney to get the bank account. I didn't have, there were over 500 emails that were never returned for years and years and years. We literally built the Central Committee from nothing, zero. And I came in halfway through the general election. I didn't pick any of the candidates. There was no plan. Everybody was stumbling over each other when they were walking. I got a bus. I organized walks. I did everything I possibly could. The amount of money, of my own money, that I put into it is unfathomable. And
can you admit now that I actually did help you
with what?
For the county race?
For what county race?
The Will County race. What you're talking about?
I'm not.
Because you said I did nothing.
No, as far as with me,
the Will County races, you said I did nothing.
Well, I don't know what you did. I heard that you were walking and you guys again. Yes.
Yeah. Didn't I pick up all those walk sheets and turn the farm into like a campaign drop-off pickup? Signs, put up signs everywhere.
You did, and like
stuffed bags, offered to do a phone bank, circulated petitions, donated money even to your fundraiser that you
did
had.
Donate money.
I bought a table. I bought a sheet. I got Walt to buy a sheet. I mean, I don't know what else I'm supposed to do.
As far as like you not being a Republican, you are a Republican. I do think that you're more concerned about your own self, and like Sue Stylen. I talked to Sue.
I'm not concerned about myself. I'm concerned about my village.
Your village. Yep. And I talked to Sue.
Not denying it.
And Sue said that. That's my lane. That's it.
My lane.
This is where I'm at.
Yep.
You know, this is what I care about. And like I told Sue, I'm like, would have been nice if we could have had a conversation. Mm-hmm. I've tried to talk to even the Democrats, Sherry Cooling Boeing, and even Ellen, like Missy Shanandra, or however you say her name. I've tried to reach out to these people to actually have conversations, because sometimes conversations help things.
Right,
and
but when we do it, we're the bad guys.
Right.
I mean, by you said you talk to Democrats, but I'm a nonpartisan mayor. I have to talk to them.
I know, but
you
you're
talk to
working with them.
No, Chrissy, working with someone and getting along with someone is two different things.
It seemed very much like you were working. I mean, you guys got the endorsements.
You say you guys, the reset did. I didn't get endorsed by Democrats, but that's okay. I'm a nonpartisan race. I mean, but
so
again,
if they endorsed you in your race, would you take it?
I didn't. No, they actually asked me to, and I said no. And with you, I said no. I got asked, and I said no. No, thank you.
All right. It seems like listen.
All right.
It seems like there is a lot of common things that you guys are basically looking at.
We agree on a lot of things. The problem is
social media.
You gotta stop believing what you hear.
Well, but not only that, but then the attacks are necessary for sure by both sides, social media and in person and whatever it may be. Right. It would be good if you guys actually came together, maybe somewhat. I mean, like I said, I'm not here to facilitate that because
Paul's just talking more as a citizen.
Yeah, I think you guys can do a greater good together than being split apart. And again, we all know where the split is coming from, and we know who's going to capitalize on the split and what they're going to try to do.
Oh yeah,
right. So I would say, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think it was. I'm not saying Balich caused it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the divide came between the people that supported Balich and the people that realized Balich wasn't the answer.
But there's people all over the damn place on the internet, bro.
Now that he's out for the township,
Susie.
Stop talking about Susie.
Susie is part of this whole divide. And she's
Jen is part of the divide.
But me and Jen are not close like you and Susie are. Like you and Susie are close, and she literally got caught. She has been running this page. The things she has said are messed up.
Can you tell me exactly what my relationship is with Susie? Since you keep saying I'm so close with her, tell me what my relationship is.
Susie, I mean, she's in the comments anytime anybody says anything about you.
She says something. Okay, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah, but that doesn't really mean.
Doesn't mean I'm hanging out with her every day.
I don't know. It seems like you guys are. It seems like she's in love with you enough to where if you said cut it off, she would cut it off.
No, she wouldn't. No, she wouldn't. You know how? You want to believe it? I went to her house with two other friends and asked her to stop, because believe it or not, there's people that deal with social media and it affects them emotionally, physically. Yeah. It messes with their brain. Okay.
Yep.
I mean, that's half to be able to do it on that page.
Yep.
And those are conversations that I have with people. Get off of it because it's messing with you. And the other flip side is, you defending me doesn't always help.
Right.
I appreciate what she does. She respects me. She wants me to do good, and I can't hate her for that.
No, I think she's in love with you, but
okay. I mean, I'm not saying she is. I'm just saying again, she's got a special needs son. Yeah. We know this.
Yeah.
And I've been there for her.
I was there for her.
You were 100%. That's why she got so hurt.
I did nothing to her.
Okay, but hold on. you remember when me and you first started talking? I said, Christy, it really bothers me when people don't like me. It really upsets me, and it like got to me on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't care anymore.
Right.
Susie's still there, where you not talking to her upsets her. She wants people to like her. She wants
I
people
will
that.
no.
I get that, but that's where she's at. Okay, so I'm not going to
So
add
she
to that.
bullies. I've never bullied her once. Never once. Never once.
Okay, I don't know that.
Never once.
I don't know because I don't follow social
Right.
media.
She's been doing
and I
it for
don't
5
listen.
years.
Okay.
It's obsessive
But
and
just
crazy.
because you weren't in the car with me driving to our house to have a conversation doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Okay.
You got to remember that life exists outside of what you see.
Hey, Susie.
No, be nice. She's got a lot going on. Just
Get a life.
no, come
No,
on.
no,
Come
no,
on.
no, no,
She's
just-
got a lot going
let's
on.
just-
She's got to get off
let's just-
Facebook.
Let's just cool it on social media.
Yeah, that's all. She knows.
I mean,
that.
and I'm not
She
talking.
knows
I don't
that.
know who Susie is, so whatever.
Yeah.
But
She might show up in front of your house. Who knows?
Yeah, well, that's Jessica. She showed
who?
up in front
Jessica?
of
Who? Barnes? That lady?
No,
I don't want
we
to
aren't
mention last
supposed to
names,
say
but
last names,
I mean,
right?
I'm
listen.
telling you, at this point, the only last names anybody's not gonna know is ours.
Yeah, right.
I'm pretty sure I had interaction with her on the pages, so that's why I know her name.
You know how many times I've met Jessica Barnes? Twice. Met her for the first time with the reset when the reset ran. That was the first time.
Well,
Remember, it was like-
regardless of
well,
all
I
these
know
other
you
people,
claimed that she was my good friend, so
Well, I
just
don't- I
saying.
of all these people out there, right? They may have their own agendas. You know what I mean? They could be doing
I mean,
their
they
own
could be
thing.
friends with you and have their own.
Yeah, 100%.
their own-
That's,
their
that's,
own
that's,
plan
that, you
at
know,
the end of the
like
day,
you said,
right?
snake slithering, and they're everywhere.
They're
Snake
everywhere.
slithering.
I don't see that though. I don't see, and maybe I'm wrong.
No,
I
they're.
don't see that the Democrat Party is going to try to come in and take over the village. I don't see it.
Oh, it's
Well,
gonna
then let's
happen.
let's listen. Then let's not let it happen, huh?
Right.
The
Let's
only
not
way
even.
it's going to happen is if people keep fighting like this.
Well, that's what we should stop, right? This is I kind of wanted to put this together, and we wanted to put this together so that maybe we can cool the fighting. You know what I mean? Like I'm a resident, right? I live here in this area. Not a resident of Homer Glen, but close enough to I can smell it. And Homer Township, same thing. I mean, we need to kind of get the people on the same page. Maybe the infighting needs to stop and just keep it the way it is, right? Let's not.
And it's not just Homer. Just so you
I
know,
understand
like,
that,
I
yeah.
do. I get what you're saying, and yes, it does need to stop. But it was being dealt with in Plainfield and Wheatland. Wheatland's always going to be like that. But it's all,
I don't know. Wheatland.
you know, there was a lot of township races that lost specifically because Republicans went against Republicans. In Plainfield, there were Republicans that sent out text messaging against the Republican slate for township that was against
then
Democrats, and the Democrats won.
Hold on. Okay, I get that. So let's set a different example,
Right.
and let's put that stuff kind of behind us here, and show them that we can work together.
But
yeah.
here's the thing: even if Christy and I walked out of here skipping hands and having a cocktail afterwards, it's not just us.
100%.
Right.
There's
But
a-
the sign of the fact
it
that you
starts
guys
somewhere.
can start somewhere.
But we did
is
that.
already-
We did that. We had the group thing at Taza, and we had an explosion as we
Yeah,
talked
but
about in the beginning.
when was then? When was that? When?
A year ago.
Okay.
Yeah,
Almost
and
exactly
we
a year
tried
ago.
again. We actually tried again.
Yep.
We worked together again, and then that's when the township race came. We couldn't get behind the same person. I stayed out of it in the beginning until stuff went south, and then that's when it all
Well, listen.
came out.
What county chair, or not what county chair, but what county board is coming up? What, next year?
Well, it's not just board. I mean, we got a lot of races coming up.
Primaries or
In,
like,
primary is next March 17th, and then
Is there anything you guys agree on in terms of that?
I don't even know who's running.
I-
Apparently, my husband's running. I'm gonna have to have a conversation with him when I get home.
beat his ass.
all the sitting county board members are going to be up for election, and they are all running.
They
for
all
re-election.
are up.
Yes.
No.
Not all of them, but
Yeah.
all the ones that weren't up in this last election, which I think were just 3 of them, 2 of them.
So 7 or 8 seats are open.
7, I think. Yes.
So then the Republicans, if they want to, because it's 50-50 right now, right?
Yeah, it's split.
Yes. It would be nice to pick up.
It would be
Why?
nice to pick up.
I
It
don't
would
know
be
if
nice
that's
to at least keep it at what it is.
Going to be possible. If we clean up the voter rolls, anything's possible.
Yeah,
Anything's possible.
Yeah, I was gonna just piggyback off of what Paul said. Is like as a not me, but as a resident, people probably don't want to see people within the same party arguing with each other all the time, right? So it's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's not just you guys. like it seems like it's a lot of people.
Right.
I don't even remember half the names that were said, but
and it's not just in here. Like there was a guy that just announced that he was running for governor, and I had a speech the other night at the Central Committee, and I normally don't read off of a speech. I always speak from my heart, but I didn't want to get off the rails with Homer and everything. So I did a nice speech. Like, we need to bring it together. We need to not infight and all that.
Yep.
And people were like, that was a really good speech. You should post it. And I did. I posted it on social media, and it was about bringing it together.
It was
and
targeted towards me.
It absolutely was not.
Read it.
It wasn't about being nonpartisan and not forgetting that you have an art. It was not.
The message that went out.
So much of this
the
going.
message that went out before that meeting. What was your text messages that went out to people to get them there? That I was forming a coalition to get people there to talk about you guys?
I did not.
I've seen it with my own eyes this morning.
That I texted somebody?
Baelish did.
Okay, well, I didn't tell him to do that. That's because
but
your
you had a phone
friend
call.
Sievers put on my social media that you're going to be whatever, you're getting whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Democrats were talking about getting me removed. So, yeah, everybody did think that you guys had this big coup happening, which I'm stuck there. There ain't nothing anybody can do about it.
In my day for all the
Well,
stuff
whatever.
that I do.
I mean, that's what. Okay, so what did?
what? No, you're
Listen, I
no.
had an I emailed somebody. I texted.
a text thing went out.
I texted.
No, I said Baelish.
Okay. So anyway,
Mr.
this
Baelish,
guy's
you're famous.
running. This guy's running for governor, and I do this message, and it's about coming together, and because we do, whether you're nonpartisan or not, you have to be your core values are Republican.
Yeah.
Stick by that, and that's all I want from you.
That's how it's always
pray
been.
to God that you do the right thing. I don't know. I mean, I'm not getting into village business. That's for a later date. Okay.
Yeah, but what
That's for a
Republican
different-
value don't I have? Give me one.
I don't know. You're not being very fiscally. I mean, I'm not going to go here with the whole village stuff.
That's
but
for another episode.
that 100% is a whole nother episode, and we should sit down with
Hey,
that.
listen, I'm always
There-
open to it. So it's
but-
up to you guys. So if you guys want to do this
But
again, no problem.
This guy who doesn't even know me went on my page and starts saying that I was planted in my position by Dean White, who's the national committeeman for the GOP. I didn't even know Dean White at the time, and then says I'm the most liberal chairman in Illinois. I'm like, dude, I'm the most MAGA person.
My
That's why I
AR
get
says
so much
otherwise.
shit for being MAGA, you know? But I am, and I don't care. I
Well,
love Trump. I think he's doing an amazing job, and
Same.
whatever.
It's hurting my pocket,
I
but
don't
he's
care.
doing the job. Someone needs to do a reset.
Yeah.
But then
It's crazy.
Let's make an attempt. Then, if you want to
Spread that message. I guess.
yeah, spread that message. But you guys can spread it. Not that you guys can.
Spread
You
what?
guys- you
what
guys can-
message are we spreading? So I'm clear.
To work together.
Yeah.
To maybe kind of cut the division a little bit. Whatever fucking one side says, or the other side of the same party, right? These people on the internet. I don't even want to say it, but
Trolls.
F you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, literally, like for real, like this isn't necessary. Why? And then why get into people's personal lives and attack them personally and whatnot
Yeah.
like that? For what?
Or make up stuff about
Or make
them?
shit
I mean,
up
that's
or
gonna
whatever.
happen
But that's normal.
regardless.
But why? Right?
Yeah.
For
I
what
mean,
reason?
Don't believe it. I mean, and in front on the other side, don't believe everything you read
I mean, I already got
or
busted for
everything
that.
you
So
see. Right.
yeah, I got called out hard for that one.
Yeah. Shroud
Don't
of
read
Turin.
it.
Shroud
Don't
and
look
Turin.
at it. Don't give it any. Don't feed into it.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Or
you just gotta let it
If
go.
you want to believe something, maybe look it up first, or
Yeah.
do a little bit. I mean,
But regardless of the fact, I think there is still, if you guys tried this a year ago, man, maybe try it again. But this time, let's maybe try it different. I'm not sure. I would just like to leave Homer as it is. I would like Will County to pick up more Republican seats, Republican voters. I feel like Will County is pretty freaking Republican, except for because of Joliet. I would say that's why it's still Blue County. I mean, unless we take over Joliet somehow. I don't even know if that's been possible, but
It's too far gone. The
let's not say that, because realistically, in a couple of years, if the right people
Joliet?
made the right decisions, I think they could bring it back.
I have a bone to pick with Joliet. They gave my guy a ticket, even though he had a parking pass.
I mean, Joliet is what it is, right? I mean, Joliet is also, it isn't the city it used to be, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you look at the recent numbers, there was no Republicans that really came out in Joliet.
No.
Because what's the point? They're outnumbered. There's no, there'll be nobody throwing them, sending the message like, hey, your vote still counts, even if it's very nimble, it still counts, right? So
No, that's
look
not.
how close
things add up.
Races were won by one vote.
Look how
Yeah.
close. Look how much closer Republicans got against Democrats in the general
Yeah.
Right.
in Illinois.
That's why I don't,
It doesn't.
I'm gonna go on record saying that there is fraud happening in Will County. 100%. I watched it. I saw it. I spent
In your
40
opinion.
in
Careful
my
what you say.
in my opinion for it. Yes. I mean, I don't think anybody there is doing anything fraudulent, but there is zombie voters, and I witnessed it. I spent 40 days away from my work. I took 40 days away from my business and went in the basement. I wanted to know everything with vote by mail ballots. And as I witnessed some things that are not okay, and what they're saying about the zombie voters, I do believe. And as much as it pains me, though, I do think it's very important for Republicans to get signed up for vote by mail ballot. I hate saying that, I really do, but
It's time.
the only way we beat them the only way it goes away is if we beat them with it. And I do think that we can beat
They
them
have used
with
it
it.
against us.
But the
So-
vote by mail was where I saw some really shady things. But I think that Annette is an amazing clerk, and she's going to do the right thing. She was the person that's going to clean this up.
Let's do it. Let's hope it
She
works out.
ran on that, and I'm going to hold her feet to the fire with that, and hope to God that she makes that happen.
So you should do with everybody, right?
Right.
Hold
Well,
them accountable to what
yeah,
they say they're gonna
yeah.
do. Which
We should do this again in the future. We should also definitely, like I said, try to work together. Not only the four of us here, but like in general, like the people out there, and get out and vote. Hopefully, Canada doesn't get another liberal government, because my cousin's about to
isn't
go
voting
crazy over
happening
there.
like right now?
Yeah,
Like,
For what?
Canada?
In Canada.
got a general election coming up right now, and it's big.
Yeah, I think it's
Oh.
like
Oh,
I
it's
think it's
big.
like in the next week or so, isn't
The
it?
28th this weekend.
Yeah.
yeah, it's big.
If
The
it
liberal
doesn't
government
say
is-
Homer in front of it, I don't really know what's going on.
I'm looking around.
Now
My
you
cousin, my cousin
I
called me in
mean-
Canada yesterday. He's like, "Bro, if these guys win again, I'm just."
coming
Yeah, ask Daddy Trump let me back in the U.S.
Yeah, it might be tough for him.
He'll be all right. We'll figure it out. Just move on to outskirts of Canada by the Inuits and hang out at the igloos.
Just pretend he's illegal.
Anyway, that problem is slowly getting resolved, so I think we're on the right track. But thank you for coming out. Thank you
Yep.
for doing this. This was fun. There's a lot of information.
A lot of names, a lot of info.
Got to work on that.
People trolling.
If
The
anybody's
trolls-
made it
the
this
trolls
far
on
into
the
the, if anybody's made it this far into the video, we're not calling you out.
Right.
Well, I mean, I guess some
Directly
people
or
might-
indirectly, maybe. Yeah, regardless. People, cool it. The keyboard warriors, turn off the keyboards.
Touch grass.
Thank you for coming.
Yep.
Hope you guys maybe resolved. I don't know if you resolved
Yeah,
anything or
just
not,
get on
but
better terms. Or,
yeah, well, maybe at least you guys looked at the same thing and seen the common goal, right? I mean, it's always been the same common goal, it seems, from both sides. So it's just something's got in between. That's fuck those people.
Don't swear too much, but Paul before the podcast, you can swear, just don't swear too much.
Is there rules on that?
No,
No.
you're not supposed to swear like the first couple minutes.
Yeah, into a
Oh.
podcast. Yeah, but I've broken that rule almost every time.
We always do.
I can never do it.
Again, thank you for coming. We're gonna put this out and people can listen to it and make their own opinion. But just the main goal is bring more people out, go
Yep.
vote. I understand that local politics are very important to everybody.
Yes.
Your money, the most of your money in your taxes is going towards your local government. So and your school
boards.
boards.
And your
boards.
schools.
Yeah,
School
local
boards.
government actually gets very little.
Yeah, we
You
don't
didn't
have
see
municipal
that,
tax.
You didn't see that YouTube comment that we got the other day when I was talking about the schools from last week. Somebody's like, you fail to mention all the cuts that are made to schools, blah blah blah. I'm like, most of your taxes go to the schools. What are you
Right.
talking about? If anything, they're getting more.
Right.
Regardless, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Thank
Thanks
you.
We'll
for having us.
we'll try
Thank
this
you.
again. Like and subscribe to our channel, right? That's right, Marcin.
Yeah. Like and subscribe. Click the follow button. Follow us on our social medias. I don't know, and we'll see.
See you
if
next
if
time.
you want more information, follow
Yeah,
us.
reach out. Yeah,
Or
100%.
if you want to spread
No misinformation.
No.
Yeah, no.
I was gonna say spread information, but I was gonna say if you want to get your word out there, let us know.
Yeah, come on our show. We'll talk about it. Have a good night.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Have a good one, guys.
Night.